son of a bitch.
Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with that drop kick, Marty Jannetty.
Goddamn right, it's live, pal. Welcome into the latest edition of Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. I'm one half of your host. I am Rob.
I'm Klein.
So we missed last weekend. A lot of shit came up, but we got a lot to talk about. It's Mania week. I'm cutting out Hot Tag. Cutting out Mount Rushmore this week, but we'll be discussing news, Mania Night 1, Mania Night 2, Stand and Deliver, Supercard of Honor. Goddamn, WrestleMania weekend has a lot of fucking wrestling on it, plus the week of news and wrestling from this week. We'll start off with the news quickly. Need to put somebody in the gangster lean. Somebody here on the show felt like somebody else wasn't important enough to be put in the gangster lane.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't
do that.
Guy.
Don't make me call like an asshole. Like,
hey, you didn't have to say, well, that could have been me. You just outed yourself.
No.
You outed yourself.
You said somebody.
I could have been me.
No. The person, no.
Anyway, but yeah, legendary wrestler, legendary sumo wrestler and one-time WrestleMania participant against Big Show, Akebono, has passed away at the age of 53. I believe you said you got the story on the man.
Yeah, so he been dealing with he died of heart failure after battling several illnesses for several years. He been dealing with heart complications since 2017 when he was hospitalized and put in a medically induced coma. Of course, he's known for his sumo match victory over Big Show at WrestleMania 21. But he also worked with Brock Lesnar in New Japan. He was the former All Japan Pro Wrestling Triple Crown champion, reaching the status of Yokozuna in the Grand Championship of Sumo. He also was a K1 fighter. So so condolences are with Akebono, with him and his friends and his family. Anything you want to add for your moment of silence? Put him in the gangster lane?
No, you said it perfectly. Give him a moment of silence. Moving on from there, let's get into the news for this week so we can get into all these shows we had to watch.
Yeah, I'm literally deleting those stories as I say them. So.
Go ahead, man. I'll jump on the...
Let's see. I'll knock a couple out the way real quick.
All right.
Since they're all in the same vicinity. So, after WrestleMania, Seth Rollins is taking some time off. Some well-deserved time off. Time off. They said he's probably going to be out for probably like 4 weeks probably, so is it really much time off, I guess. So he's taking time off. His wife, Becky Lynch, she's also taking some time off. Which leads to a couple injuries that we have. Piper Niven is apparently dealing with a hand injury while she haven't been on TV in a while. Josh Briggs, that Stand and Deliver, broke 2 ribs in the triple threat match. So we don't know how long he's going to be off TV. A couple of those people also have contracts coming up. We mentioned Seth and Becky. Drew haven't signed his contract yet. They actually added time on to Drew's contract. So we'll see. Natalya also have a contract that's expiring. So they said that a lot of these big names have contracts up, but that don't mean they're necessarily going to leave. Some will probably get done with everybody involved, but we will see. I mean, come to Seth Rollins, I said he deserved it. Becky Lynch, a couple years ago, said that she was talking about she wanted to cut out wrestling and become more of a mom.
I saw somebody with those dumbass Seth Rollins boots on the other day when I was walking downtown.
Oh, they still wearing it?
The big ass red boots look like fucking Mega Man and shit.
Them people the trend for a while. I heard they hard to take off. Them things hard to take off though. So that is pertaining to any news or injuries on the WWE side at the moment right now.
I got a couple over here since you mentioned it. One of which is Miro. Miro is dealing with an injury right now. That's why he's been off TV. Dealing with a shoulder injury. He said he hasn't been on TV since the World's End back in December when he won a match against Andrade El Idolo. In an interview with Sports Kita, the Redeemer said he's dealing with a shoulder injury and elbow injury that's keeping him out of action. Quote, I have shoulder injury and elbow injury that has occurred late last year, so finally took care of it late January, got a whole bunch of shots. Now I'm recovering, rehabbing, and coming back stronger than ever. Also, one of our favorites that was injured years ago, well, not years ago, about a year and a half ago now, and we don't know if we'll ever actually be back, but Big E said he may never be medically cleared again from his neck injury, and he's happy and healthy anyway, though, right now.
That's all that matters.
Quote him, he says, hey y'all, 2-year neck scans are in, things are unchanged, my C1 has healed, I can't even say this word, fibrosely.
Look at me.
Fibrously. You pronounce it. But
Spell that tough guy.
but have not formed a new bone. I'm medically cleared and truthfully I'm not medically cleared and truthfully I may never be cleared. I am blessed to be free of pain, immensely happy and otherwise healthy. Life is good.
That sounds bad. It's a form a new bone. Yeah, that's wild.
Sometimes it takes 7 years or something. Look at Edge.
Yeah, that's true.
It takes a while. Ronda Rousey says pro wrestling is basically said it's phony. Calls it an intense performance. Let me explain. Well, I'll let her explain. Says, quote, it's scripted mostly. Here's a general idea. There's working together. I like to relate to figure skating. Two people together creating a performance. As Shayna Baszler likes to say, there's no fake way to take a chair shot. You actually get hit with the chair. It's also not a competition. A lot of wrestlers and stuff will be like, wrestling is real. I got this injury or that injury. I'm like, okay, it's a competitor in an actual sport. I've never worried about getting injured. I've worried about losing. That's the most stressful part of it. Injuries are not all that what you're thinking about. That's not what makes it real or makes it hard. It's uncertainty of the outcome. When people are like, it's a real sport, no, it's not a sport. It's a very intense performance, which I have a lot of respect for, but it's not a sport. If you ever dealt with the stress and anxiety that comes with competition, you can't take that out and call it a sport. It's so tough, it's very physical, but it's not a sport. End quote. Thoughts?
This is the same person that went on a sad crime self-pity tour after Holly Holm knocked her ass out using all these excuses. Oh well, my coach didn't what's his name and I was going with this and I had to no. It's like you making excuses because you want them to cater to you and they didn't do it. They didn't give you the Dana White treatment. Dana White would have gave whatever the hell you wanted. They said no. You got mad that people called you out on your shit because you wasn't the top upper echelon when you got there. People do. Some of them in the UFC probably wouldn't because they know you'll kick their ass. But you kick all of their asses. So it's like you're coming off as bitter grapes. Like they're not thinking about you. Why are you still talking about them? You are the female Uncle Eric. You just got them in your mouth all the time. They ain't thinking about you. They don't care about you. There ain't nobody mentioning Ronda Rousey. You go back there, ain't nobody thinking about you. They don't care about you. Like, no. It's okay, though. I mean, I'll get into my Ronda Rousey stories, because, one, she still think there's people in control of Vince's people controlling WWE, and also, her last week's news story possibly might get superstar possibly cost him their job, but technically his apology kind of cost himself his job though.
Yeah,
Possibly.
gabagoo.
Let's start with so she says that supposedly he's out now because they're paying company funds so that he can shit on some girl's head in the office and do a threesome with her and John Lartnight.
I told you! Yay! Yay! Do you know why I'm so happy? And I'm just breaking the modulator here on the microphone. This is why. I didn't want to tell you that story on here. I said, I'm not going to say that without sources. This is just what I heard. I can't even remember where I heard it at the time. And now that she said it, we ain't got to say it, so they can't try to come sue us. Yes! It's not that I wanted it out there. I feel so bad for her in that whole situation. But then I got a little bit in myself think like the onus is on you a little bit because you wanted to work for him. I'm sure this was an escalating moment. I'm sure the first time that you decided that you were going to succumb to the whims of this, whatever you want to call him, old man, speaking of Vince, this wasn't the first time. The first time could have been just like a blowy. I don't think you start out day one shit on your head and doing a threesome with his number two. I don't see that. So, like, this was an escalating factor. So, like, you kind of willingly went into this. And, like, obviously you didn't know what you were getting yourself into. You decided to do it. Because I'm sure you didn't think one day you were going to get shit on the head. But I'm just saying. Either way, I'm happy that we didn't put it out there and Ronda Rousey did. Please continue.
But his cronies are still there. So when that stuff started coming out, Vince was gone before. He was still basically calling and running the company. But Bruce Pritchard, who is there now, who's like the head of creative, or whatever title they gave him, is basically taking orders from Vince and running the company through him. So when Vince resigned because of all these sexual allegations and stuff was coming out, he was still running the company, and I still think he is to this day. She also think that the Endeavor CEO, Ari Emanuel, needs to rid WWE of Vince's old cronies, mainly Bruce Pritchard. She has this thing for Bruce Pritchard, bro. Man. She said Steph and Triple H, they're honestly doing their best. I think Vince just created a fundamentally sick environment. And if Ari's going to be able to actually make this multi-billion dollar dysfunctional organization into one that functions, he needs to clean out all of Vince's cronies. He needs to completely clean house and remove Vince's influence completely. No one's asking me, but that's just what I experienced when Vince was gone. He's still running the show through people that he hired in the past. Bruce Pritchard being number one. Bruce Pritchard, literally, I never heard him say a single one of his own opinions. He only says, Vince said this, Vince says that, Vince. So he literally, I just call him Vince Avatar. That's basically what what he is.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, that's funny. That's the first time that somebody actually said that about Bruce Pritchard, though. They do say he just like Vince's yes man. Like, yes man. Also, backstage update your boy Drew Gulak.
Gabagoo. Maybe no longer.
Around his accusation. So, Gulak did not appear. Thank you. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Gulak did not appear alongside no quarter cash crew or NXT, or his name wasn't shown in the group graphic. They have graphic all four names up there. His name wasn't in there. He was accused of misconduct by Ronda Rousey, who basically name dropped during the interview, basically saying that he grabbed like her drawstring when he was trying to. He said shake her hand. Basically, I still don't know how you shake somebody's hand and grab their draw trying to shake their hand. Like, that's just awkward. That's hell.
I can't even make the motion.
Fightful select Corey Brennan revealed that Gulak was pulled from several appearances over WrestleMania 40 weekend, which included him having his seat at the Hall of Fame taken away after producer noted that he was in attendance, and it was in close proximity to one of Ronda Rousey's inner circle friends. Which put code for it, he probably was close to Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler, probably. Probably.
Wow.
There are no creative plans for Gulak. He was not listed in any internal rundown nor backstage. But the rumor
You about to catch that Brock Lesnar treatment.
The rumor is that it's only a matter of
payday.
it's only a matter of time before he possibly going to get fired for this. His apology though, bro, like his apology, like he said I was going for a handshake, and I accidentally wasn't, but I immediately apologized. I'm like, how do you accidentally, like, that what gets me, how do you accidentally grab somebody like drawstring shaking their hand? Like, did you get pushed and you like how do that work? Like, so
if he got pushed, I mean, he was trying to catch his balance on her waistband, or
I don't know.
This also
what y'all be thinking when they was doing that run? How long ago this was? When they was doing that run between Rousey and Becky and Charlotte and all them, and she kind of kept beating his ass on SmackDown, putting him in arm bars, making him tap out. One that was part of the reason why, probably.
Maybe.
So I don't know that. I'll get to a couple quick ones. These are some real quick ones. Real quick. So The Rock introduced that People's Championship belt that he said he got at the Hall of Fame from Muhammad Ali's widow. I think it's a widow.
Yes, Lonnie.
Said that belt is not for show. There are ideas that he is presenting to defend it. There's no plans as of right now for him to wrestle anymore this year.
Wait, what? So then what I said is out.
As of right now, there are no plans for him to wrestle this year. That don't mean he won't. You know, he's doing the movie. You know how long movies they're doing, so probably, I don't know. But WrestleMania 41 is likely when his next match will be, potentially against Cody Rhodes. Stone Cold was going to be at the end of that Roman Cody match, but apparently him and WWE couldn't agree on the price, so they gave it to Undertaker. Undertaker took the spot instead. Jacob Fatu has signed his WWE contract after not renewing his MLW deal. Sami Callihan is in MLW now, by the way. So, and I got one more. You got any more before I go into my last one?
I got a couple, bro. All right, so Mick Foley, we spoke on the show here recently about he wanted to have a final match. Well, it turns out there will be no final match for Mick, unfortunately. To quote the man himself, he recently said he had proposed his participating in the final death match, but he had set a deadline for himself to make his final decision by early 2025. To quote Mick, this is what he said. Hey everyone, it's Mick Foley with an update and the final match that I was thinking about having for my 60th birthday. As some of you may know, I had to miss a couple of weekends of appearances because of dizziness and lightheadedness. After consulting with my doctors and also using my own experience with concussions, the symptoms they seemed to point to a concussion that I didn't even know I had received. I hadn't done too much in the ring, and I had done a little bit. I had noticed that I was lightheaded after one of the workouts, though, and it wouldn't go away. It just seemed like the wisest move, one strongly supported by my family, is to call off that match. If I get concussed or something that I'm not even aware of, then there's some things that I was thinking of doing, hoping of doing in the big match that would not be smart. So with my family's urging, after careful thought, I've decided there will be no final match.
I respect that.
Yeah, gotta look out for your health, Nick.
So, ain't got no when to walk away. Ain't got no when to like walk away and don't get too carried away by the fame. Ric Flair wrestling matches with pacemakers and everything.
Well, it's a little different for the two, and I'm gonna tell you how. As a Ric Flair mark, admittedly, that man knows nothing but. That's why he wasn't a good father. And this is his own words. This isn't me shitting on him. He'll tell you that himself. Set this up in his own book. He wasn't a good father. He wasn't a good husband. All he knew how to do was be Ric Flair. Which, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, that shit was real. He was busting bitches all the time. We already heard about the plane ride from hell, and that was him in the later days of it. We're not even talking about him when he was in his heyday of the shit in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily sexually assaulting people, but, you know, just getting it in all over the place in the territory days. Anyway, So he didn't know anything, but Mick has other like hobbies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of conventions and things that people like to see. He's up there for doing some of the most you ever heard of Cameo? Mick's done some of the most cameos of all time for people just because he loves doing it, whether in his Santa Claus gimmick or not, because he loves Christmas so much. He has his kids, which he actually has a good relationship with his kids, even though they did see him get beat about the head about 20 times by The Rock at, Rumble 99. But that's here today. Everybody looks at him as a good dad. He has a hobby. He writes books. He does a lot of stuff. Not that Rick doesn't do a lot of stuff. He does. It's just he couldn't get that out of his blood. So that's why he had to have that final match. And now he had. And I know he talked after the fact, like, shit, it might be another final one. I don't think so. But I do feel like he is kind of in an urge of trying to find something to do because he never knew nothing outside of that life. So that's why I say they're different.
Yeah, you better learn how to find something to do outside of the busting thing. Making energy drinks ain't the business.
You keep begging on the energy.
Shit nasty, bro. Don't he got his weed dispensaries or whatever?
Yeah, he got
a line of weed.
Yep. Sabu says he explains Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame no-show, said he changed his mind. So we told you that he got inducted into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. He explained his reason for no showing over the weekend, noting he simply changed his mind about it, as we reported. GCW owner Brett Lauderdale said that ECW doesn't no-show at the ceremony and wrote, he accepted the booking and took the money, but he doesn't want to get into the elevator and come upstairs. What a legend.
Damn.
Sabu was asked about the matter on Twitter and kept it simple, saying, I changed my mind. For his part, Lauderdale just says no hard feelings about the matter. Writing, quote,
did you give him their money back?
just for the record, I have no hard feelings towards Sabu and still have nothing but respect for him as a person, especially as a performer. Sacrifice he made to change the game, pardon the pun. And many of my favorite memories as a fan are centered around his work. It says nothing about money being returned.
Of course. Okay. I was just asking. All right.
Wait, hold on. I got it for you. Wait, you ready?
Uh-oh.
This is hilarious. GCW's Brett Lauderdale revealed that Sabu would no-show the ceremony on Friday. Quote, in the true spirit of independent wrestling, Sabu has decided to keep his deposit and no-show the events. So that answers your question.
Damn.
Kept his deposit.
Kept that money. You ain't getting that back, brother.
Hook of AEW, Taz's son has announced that his AEW contract expires this year and notes on future plans. SC Scoops reports that AEW contract with Hook expires at the end of the year. Second generation wrestlers expected to explore his options. FTW champion will be a free agent later this year, as it says. He said, I can see WWE clearly being interested in him. I have heard rumors they are very interested in him. It's been a good year for free agents, with AEW already paying a lot of money to get names like Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada. WWE, meanwhile, already picked up Julia, Andrade, Naomi, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu recently, we just said. Hook is currently in a program with Chris Jericho, and his father, Taz, regularly calls AEW action. He'll be defending the FTW championship. He did again on Battle Belts against Shane Taylor. We'll talk about that later in the show.
Cleveland boy.
Actually, I'm sorry, we'll be talking about that on Sunday's show. That's not this week's shit. It's too much going on. Anyway, Braun Strowman said he's close to a return, waiting to be cleared with the WWE. During an autograph signing with Fanatics Live, Braun Strowman said that he was very close to returning to WWE, just waiting to be cleared by the doctors. He was last in action in last June when he had his neck fused. He's been out of action since last June, excuse me. Since he got his neck fused in C4 and C5 vertebrae.
These neck fusions, man.
Because you do a sport where you get suplexed on your fucking neck all the time. It's going to happen eventually. That's why I heard, the rumor is, they say when you're a surgeon for things like that, like neck especially, they send you to Japan because, and this isn't being a stereotype or I'm trying to say this or anything, they say Japanese people have some of the strongest necks on earth. And they do a lot of exercises for it and stuff. So, that's why they train you there as a surgeon, especially if neck surgeries, to, train on the strongest necks, and then you can come work on more fragile necks like us Americans, I guess. That's how I see that one being, I guess. Anyway, quote, really, really good feeling good. Waiting on the doctor to say go. Right near the home stretch, you can feel the tension in the air. So May 1st, I got hurt. The surgery is June 1st. Had a CT scan back in January. The bones are very close to being fused up. So I'm feeling good. Metal plate and 4 screws in my neck now, so ain't gonna stop me.
Hey.
Brian Cage has confirmed his recent AEW deal is long term. Quote, actually, I was going back and forth. My contract was up last year with AEW. I was going back and forth with the WWE and AEW with my agent trying to see where it will fit in. The pros and cons of both. The big reason, there's a lot of reasons, but big reason to stay at AEW was the fact that there was a lot more certainty to speak of. It's not necessarily a guaranteed contract, for lack of better terms. The contract was essentially guaranteed compared to WWE's. Which, I mean, I could be signed there today, gone tomorrow, you know what I mean? I thought about it, and I thought about the lengthy terms of AEW, so I'm like, all right, we just had another kid, and now I have 2 kids. He said we just had another kid, and I have 2 other kids. So I was just thinking, not just professionally, but personally, for the security, for the length of the contract, and the comfortability as well. We're already there, you're used to it. I was like, yeah. If it's not broke, then maybe don't fix it. If I was like, yeah, maybe it's just to stay here and to stay put and to make the best out of it. I'm gonna cut it off there because we got a lot going on.
I respect
he has a lot more to say because still the good paragraph left, but he's basically happy where he's at.
I respect that. Like I said, key word. He said more about thinking about my family and where I come back. Like I said, AEW schedule, my opinion as a wrestler, if I was a wrestler, is way better than WWE. So you do get more time spent with your family, and you're familiar there. You know where everything at. So
I'm making an executive decision right now. Okay, you ready? This next story will be my last. Not of the night, I don't mean that, but my last of the news for this show. Because we were going to get into the CM Punk thing. We're going to talk about what happened on Dynamite, but we're going to save the reactions from Punk, from Uncle Eric, and all these long-winded motherfuckers. We're saving that shit for Sunday. Sunday, damn it, we're going 3. We can talk about all that shit then. It's late.
They got that much shit.
They all have multiple 3-4 paragraph stories, and I got like 5 of them. But if we do it Sunday too, I can add Tony Khan's reactions into it also, so you can get the whole scope. I don't want it, bro. We wouldn't start talking reviews until 9 o'clock if I did that, and it's 8:15 now. So this is going to be the last story. I'm making an executive decision. We will talk Punk on Sunday's show. We're going to discuss what happened this week. We will discuss the fallout on Sunday's show. Simple as that. We'll talk about Ariel Helwani and all that shit. It'll just take forever if we do it tonight.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm going to leave it there.
We got to look through and cut some stuff out. I know
we usually do before the show, man. We were going to go with it, but I was like, you know what? I'm looking 1, 2, 3. You got Devon, Uncle Eric twice, Tony's response twice, another Uncle Eric talking about the Ariel Helwani part of it that even sparked all of this to happen again. Kenny Omega talking about the All Out, which ain't even about this. That's why I'm like,
that's a lot.
You compartmentalize over there. We'll get back to you.
I understand.
Last story of the night.
I understand.
Speaking back on Miro, he was interviewed with Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge and praised Tony Khan for his passion for wrestling and his creativity as an AEW boss. Quote, Tony's a great man. He's creative. His mind is always running. He's always thinking about wrestling. He's always thinking about how to get things better. I respect that. I respect that he loves wrestling. All he has did and all he's did in his life is he's carried that to the second or one of the biggest companies in the world. I love the freedom of style that we have. We have people from Mexico, from Japan, from Bulgaria, from England. You just come in and you bring your style and fight the way you want to. Who brought me to this company in the first place what brought me to this company in the first place is the freedom that gives you and that you get.
Yeah, people from Bulgaria. I'm like, are you?
You mean yourself?
Yourself.
He has to be talking about it. He has to.
Yeah. You ain't slick there. We caught that.
All right, so let's talk about the dark side of the ring. The story of Chris Cole.
Yeah, hold on. I got one more news story.
Oh, go ahead. Before we get into that, I'm sorry.
Last one. That's confused with Selena Vega, who's been accused of scamming creators. So a custom merchandise shop called Mecca Museum released a statement on Instagram detailing issues they had with her in recent months. They wrote that they wrestled Selena Vega with the custom chocolate design printed handstone, one that she practically got for free and severely underpaid me for. Also wasted my time on a pair of cuffs, mech wings and headset, all handstone. She gave the wrong address, which resulted in my wings getting cooked in the hot 100-degree Florida sun, melting essentially having to reship it, and then find out that the time specified was too late. Then having a piece detached due to melted pieces again. It's getting damaged from being delivered to the old address if she thought she could pick it up from. It's literally something so fixable, and yet she was like, it was my fault and the skill issue, as well as her assistant saying I'm unprofessional for even saying anything, but my work and my skills suck. She got all that. The commission was valued at $2.5K for $900 for promise of exposure, and I had to refund multiple customers and reject new orders to get this done, hours upon hours. 3 days of designing, bedazzling, everything one by one. A labor that should have took in months, I did 2.5-3 weeks on tops with no sleep and no break, only for her to return everything, dispute the total amount without deducting what she kept via PayPal, and keeping everything practically changed, all for nothing, to have expensive stuff for Temu prices. Damn.
That's funny. That was funny.
As a Puerto Rican, you are literally a disgrace and 100% not for your people, let alone stand by small businesses. She said that happened. No, she said that another person said that happened years ago when someone with credit compensation and they didn't have no experience working, so she bought it backstage to a show basically. So somebody else basically came out and said she did the same thing. She said I had to reactivate Twitter just to correct people, screenshot photo videos to come. I got receipts. Last thing, me and my husband are scammers. So make things clear.
Wait. So why Malachi Black get dragged into it? Like, he ain't ordering cosplay shit. I don't know. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know either. Like,
if I'm Malachi, I'm like, hold on.
She said, and for those who don't want to threaten, lie, and create fake news scams and serial to jump on the hate train because they think it's fun and cool, do better, because you're about to be proven wrong. And then she addressed sharing photos of their previous conversations. Okay, I gotta find a way to screenshot those better. So that's gonna be a continue. I'm gonna look more into that.
No.
That's the last one, but I'm gonna go into that. I'm gonna look at that probably.
Okay.
Like
I'm about to say, let's keep it moving. Ain't that deep?
It ain't, but I just look at it like, dang, though. Everybody, first you got one dude saying he got scammed out of the whole Bullet Club thing. Then the one dude found like that big ass lawsuit from WrestleMania 40.
He said, don't bring him into this. I feel like these ladies sound way more reputable than his ass. You gonna bring him into this like his shit's legit. I get your correlation. It was just funny though. It was still funny though.
The first one I think of, bro.
Like when I hear their shit, I feel bad for them. I'm not saying that she did wrong, Selena Vega. I'm just saying like, oh well, this is your story you're telling. I hear you. I feel you. My heart goes out to you. When I hear his shit, I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Don't feel bad for him?
No, I don't, bro. Not at fucking all. I feel like you're Cap. Like there's no way.
Big Cap.
There's no way that there's no way that happened.
Oh my concept. Like, bro,
there's
really?
No way.
If you had that
there's
much
no way.
at your own wrestling promotion.
That is hilarious. That's like, no, you sound Cap. Like, as opposed to these ladies.
General now the same, like everybody now all of them trying to say they got scammed or somebody took something from them, basically. So
I noticed what you're getting at. It was just funny. You mixed them.
He's the pedigree for every one of his stories now. Now his stories sound outrageous. What happened to these? What happened to It
no.
probably could have happened,
Yeah.
but I just know that his is just all the way out there. So it's like, he's
my
lying.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Your story that is outrageous to his, there's some truth in it.
All right, let's get in the dark side so we can get into the shows, because we got a bunch.
Oh yeah, let's start to try to get
Man.
the dark side. This dark side was freaking crazy. Now you know dark side. This is on Chris Cope. Jim Cornette basically saved the best wrestler that nobody ever seen. He said Ozzy Osbourne was Mother Teresa next to him, and that's saying something because we all know about Ozzy Osbourne
Yeah, we do.
eating spiders and shit. So
Snorting red ants like a fucking line of coke,
yeah. So
amongst many other stories.
yeah. So basically, he basically said he was more of a rock star than a wrestler. He said he was the most strung out rock star in wrestling. He talked about this story about him being in the cage match, and the cage to keep wrestlers in. Colt took LSD. I think he didn't take LSD from what he described. I think he took PCP. I think something that make you hallucinate. I don't know if LCD make you hallucinate or not.
Yeah.
It do? Okay.
Yeah, LSD do. That's why I talk about having a good trip or a bad trip.
Cause he thought he saw spiders coming in the cage. So he climbs out the cage and just start punching people. Then it leads to a big melee with fans breaking bottles over his head. But he's so tripped out on LSD, he ain't feeling nothing. So Bill Anderson basically got to come in. He got to come swinging people with chairs. Cause there's a tag team at the time. Taking out fans.
Like, you ever heard about the story? I think the guy's name, now I'm probably wrong. He was a pitcher, I believe, for the Pirates or the Padres in the 70s. And his name was, I believe his name was Doc Ellis.
We got that picture no here on LSD.
Bang.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't have a bad trip that day, obviously, because he pitched a fucking no-hitter, but it can go either way.
Yeah.
It depends on your mindset at the time, you know?
Then he talk about how he was one of the first guys that was wrapped up in drugs. They talk about how he was a roadie for Joe Crocker. Of course, those who don't know, I think Joe Crocker, he the guy that did the theme song for the Wonder Years. I think.
Yep.
One of my favorite shows of all time.
He, well, this song's been remade so many times, but I believe his version is the greatest version of all time. Lord, Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. One of my favorite songs of all time. His version is amazing.
He also talked about how he one day was walking down the street, and he seen this lady. She drinking like a bottle of wine. She asked him for a drink. He said, "Sure, I have a drink with you." They started talking. Come to find out, it's Janis Joplin, one of my favorite music artists of all time. And he like, "Why you ain't telling your drink out?" She's like, "I just need a friend and somebody to talk to. That's all." So they basically become friends. He started doing drugs and everything. They all start partying. He actually said he wanted to die at 27. Like, like he started going crazy, doing all that. Childhood was crazy. He said on the weekends, his dad and his mom would get into like brawls basically. Then they would get involved. He came back one time, thought his mom was dead because like dad got into a fight. Dad basically pistol whipped her with a wooden gun and split the wood of the gun. Basically. Yeah. Yeah. Then basically they got to it, and he goes to leave with his sister. He said something to his dad. Dad busts him in his face, busts his eardrum. Dad pulls out a gun threatening to shoot them, but his sister and them drive away before anything.
He was licking shots. They just didn't hit them, luckily.
Yeah. So did all that. Then he got into wrestling. Basically, main thing was that like he was one of people that openly knew he was like gay, like what's her name. So he knew it was hard to get into the business like that. Like Princess Victoria said they sent her to try to hook up with him because like they knew he was gay and she could turn any gay dude straight.
I think it was fucked up. I think it was fucked up how she acknowledged it. Like they came to me like, no. She said it like she said they knew I was just like, you know, so I could easily turn them. Like she was just like they used her like a hoe. But then she knew she was good, so that she like didn't accept that as like a diss. She kind of took it like as a compliment kind of, and I'm like, no, mama, that's not good. Right,
it's not.
And I'm sure she knows that too, but it's just the way she had said it at the time.
And also too, so they talk about how like he met a guy named Ron, and that Ron Dupree that basically like became his lover and everything like that. Like little stuff they did, like the biker gimmick with the chains and everything. That was just because of like that's them expressing themselves as like a couple. But
people didn't see it that way.
They literally thought it was like bikers.
So they thought it was the gimmick.
Yeah,
they didn't realize. Yeah,
gimmick. So they did that. Then they talk about he just started doing shit to just become a villain. Like he took a U.S. flag and burnt it, which got Arizona booted off television. Like we can't be burning flags. Like come on, that's too much, bro. Then they talk about a part where they was in an incident where he was in a row with a third person. This guy named Mike was a former Army vet, and he basically just antagonized him and everything like that. And he said, "You do that one more time, so I'm gonna fucking kill you." Proceeds to have him stop the car. Mike Anderson got in the car again, stop the car, and he proceeds to beat the fuck out of Chris Cope, and then gets back in the car, closed the door, and grabs the wheel. He might like, wait, what you about to do?
He's about to run this motherfucker over.
That's what I'm about to do. He said he revved back and he floored it. Then he said the last second, why you wait till now at the last second when you this close to hitting this man? All of a sudden, they smacked his arm, the wheel turned, they left him there. Then said to get back to the hotel. Chris is already right there. Yeah, we gotta let that dude go, bro. We can't work with him no more. like then just Bailey just became so chill.
And you know what's the craziest part about the guy that was telling that story? This is how you know wrestling is a motherfucker, like, on your life. Did you see the pictures of him originally, like, when he debuted? And then seeing him now? Not only did his forehead look like Abdullah's or some shit like that, he would look like a totally different person, like, body size and shit. And it's like, man, is that, like, life? Or, like, I don't know. I'm just glad you're here to tell the tale, brother. I'll tell you that. I'm glad to see you on the other side. It is like, you've been through some shit. Especially telling stories like that.
Yeah. They talk about how Cornette said he was one of the first people that invented modern entrance music in pro wrestling, because he used to come out to Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. Nightmare. Then they talk about he finally got control of his drug addiction. They say he was sure like he had been out in the sun for a while, then he come back like he was out of shape, then he basically got kicked out of wrestling, started doing Nazi gimmicks, so he wanted to be hated bad as he could. Then start flipping over doing porn. Like doing crystal meth and coke.
Yeah, the end of this story was nuts.
Hey man, like
he was like he was wrestling like his gimmick, but it was like using it like it was like gay porn.
They said this dude would come in here with a badge and rob drug dealers, bro. That's what he would do. He would come in here like he had a badge. Hey, look, I'm what's the name? Take all their drugs and go.
And no, through all this craziness, even that one producer dude said he was still the best at it and how much he admired Chris.
Yeah.
Through all this craziness.
He got to the porn business, and then they talk about how he was again over the top with everything. He
literally was in a gimmick cutting a promo saying, I'm going to take you down, I'm going to slam you, then I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, bro? Like, what the fuck? It was just so crazy. It was so crazy.
Yeah, they did, man. They talk about there's some way your boy Hogan gets shoehorned into this story.
Of course.
They talk
this
about
piece of shit.
They talk about how Chris cut a promo on Bill about chasing Hulk Hogan out of New York and trying to slap his ass with his belt. With his belt. Hogan was the god to the gay community, and the gay guys, they worship Hogan because of the way how strong he was, how he like worked out and everything. And then basically he basically could come basically to AIDS, basically HIV over a period of time. Basically, the producer asked Jack if Chris was infected. He said he don't know, but he said all his miles in the 80s probably were. This is what gets me. He said all his miles in the 80s were infected because she didn't ask and they didn't tell. So he made sure everything on set was sanitized, but he can look at somebody and tell if they was healthy or not, basically. And he wanted Chris, he know that Chris wanted the extra act after his real career as a trainer, as a coach. That never happened. So that's the crazy story. Story of Chris Cope. Man, that was
man, that was nuts.
Dang, that one blew my mind when I heard that one. So that's the crazy story of him. Next week we get Chris Adams. Another crazy
story.
Dumb bitch.
All right, so let's get into the week. I'm starting off because, and I know we usually do Saturday to Friday, but this week we got to do Friday to Friday because Supercard of Honor was on Friday, and we ain't talking about it on the last show. We're gonna start with, and we're not gonna go let's just state this now. We're not going to go into the deep of the match, which we don't go that damn deep into the match anymore anyway, not like we used to back in the day. Woo! Soliloquies. Anyway, we're going to get finishes and winners in time code. Keep it pushing. All right, so 0 hour Premier Athletes. The Premier Athletes defeat Rhett Titus, Tony Deppen making his ROH return, and Adam Priest. 8 minutes 16 seconds. Also, you had Beast Mortos taking on Blake Christian. The Beast Mortos dude remind me of Black Taurus. You remember that guy with the mask, the bull mask thing? Same exact thing, just with a different name.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving on from there, Mortis gets the victory because he had took a super gorilla press and turned into a pump handle driver for the pin. 8 minutes 41 seconds. Next up, Griff Garrison and Cole Carter took on the Spanish Announce Project. It went 8 minutes and 31 seconds, but it felt more like a squash match, basically.
Angelico.
Yeah, and Serpentico.
I hated that shit.
Sad it did. Anyway, 8 minutes and 31 seconds. That match is over with. Cole Carter and Griff Garrison won. What was Cole Carter's name when he was part of the family? Was that Stacks?
No, that was. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. I gotta look it up.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. We'd make a joke off it anyway. No worries. Okay. Anyway, moving on from there. Have you ever heard of Momo Kojo? Because I know you watch a lot of Stardom.
Yes, Cole Carter. His name was Cole
Carter.
Yeah.
Momo Kojo, you heard of before?
Yes.
Okay. She took on Mariah May. They changed the okay. So you know how she has the Mayday, right? Now she has another one. You're a '90s baby, so you might catch it. Maybe not. This might have been before your time.
Troy, that was his name.
Troy. That's it. I thought it was something that was more like, I don't know, out of The Sopranos. Anyway, Momo Kojo took on Mariah May. Pretty good women's match here. Mariah May finished her off with a move called "It's Gonna Be May."
It's gonna be May.
Yeah, you know, like NSYNC, which is just a running knee. 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Now it got kind of weird post match though. So post match, her former tag team partner in Stardom came out and had a champagne toast with her. I'm sorry, she had.
His name was Troy. Yeah, Troy Donovan was his name.
Troy Donovan. Okay. Yeah. Well, she came out for champagne toast later. We'll explain. It was kind of weird. Anyway, moving on. Opening match, the Supercard TV title match. Kyle Fletcher, champion, taking on Big Shotty, Lee Johnson.
That was a great match.
Yes, it was a very good match. It went 19 minutes and 52 seconds. Gave him plenty of time. Fletcher wins it with a twisting brain buster on top of the turnbuckle to retain. A lot of people have been doing that move a lot recently. Next up, now this is the match. After this match is where Mariah May came back out with the champagne toast, which confused me. But May Saraya, now I know you usually stumbled over the word, but you got to hold on with me here. I don't know all these. Okay, May Saraya, I may pronounce that wrong. Maikia and Mina Shirakawa. Mina Shirakawa, got that one. Versus Tan Nakano, Sai Kamatani, and Azumi. You good? Okay, cool. Anyway, tongue tie. Anyway, 14 minutes 26 seconds. This one went. Your girl Azumi was all over WrestleMania weekend doing her thing. Sorry you didn't get to go, buddy. I know you kind of went to see some of that stuff. We'll have another chance, bro. I promise. Snazzy Rosa gives excuse me. Sorry. A Snazzy Roller gives Mina Shirakawa 2 with Nakano and Azumi making a save. Back up, lift and reverse layout. DDT gives Mina the pin over Saya at 14 minutes 26 seconds. Next up, tag team titles on the line. The Kingdom taking on the Infantry. The Kingdom retain their belts. Basically with interference from Wardlow. So they retained 13 minutes 50 seconds. Women's TV title match: Queen Amanada taking on Billy Starks. I like this match. They gave him plenty of time. 17 minutes 41 seconds. Still noticing that they're giving 9. Listen, we know Dynamite, everything else steeples out. We need more women's matches on Dynamite per show. Give me more than one, the prerequisite one. On other minor shows, you're starting to get more than one all the time. This is one, for example. It's had like 3 on here already, and 2 on the main card at that. But it's gonna actually be 3 too. But you got to do that on your show, Tony. Mix it up a little bit, bro. Yeah. Anyway,
the matches you put on here be good, be bomb.
All these matches were dope. All these women's matches on here were dope. I'm just saying, I just want to see them on
Dynamite.
Your main show. Yeah. Anyway, this match, Queen Amanada put up a good fight. Nice hard hitting. Here's where it came down to. We'll get down to what happened. So we get down to the end of the fight, where at one point a running knee hits the face of Billy Starks, and then a swanton is hit by the raised knees. Billy Starks went for a swanton and hit the raised knees, but the ref paused to check on Starks. She was straight faking the neck injury, like literally brought out the brace for her neck and everything. Amanada went to check on her, got snuck up and choked out. German suplex into a sleeper. Starks, is the television champion. These two met in the finals of the tournament for the TV title. So she did a good minion job there. She has a belt like her minion leader, Athena, the women. They are always women's champion. You know what I'm saying? Next up, 6-man tag titles: Bullet Club Gold taking on Lance Archer, Alex Zane, and Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki. Good match, gave it plenty of time. 15 minutes and 26 seconds. Swinging rock bottom to 310 to Yuma. Hits Archer, and Blade Runner on Zane retains the titles for Bullet Club Gold. Post-match, Billy Gunn and the Acclaim come out, try to brawl. They take out Anthony Bowen before they run off. Next match had a good build. The match did not match the build, though there were funny moments in the match. We'll get to one in a second. Dalton Castle taking on Johnny TV. So I don't know if he lost the boys to them in the match. And I know we know what actually happened to the boys, but they basically brought them off on TV, and this is how they did it. Somehow, I think he lost a match where they took custody of the boys, and they said they went on a camping trip, and the boys basically got ate by a bear because they ran, and the boys didn't follow them. So Taya and Johnny just ran off without the boys, and they basically just assumed said they got ate by some damn bears. All right, so Dalton Castle comes out with new boys for this one, right? He had a whole bunch of boys for this one, like a good 10 of them. Now, at the best part of the match, now this is basically a funny match here. You can slide in R-Truth for Johnny TV here and be just as funny of a comedy match, basically. But you would have thought it would have been more of a serious match considering how much the boys usually mean to Dalton Castle. So there was a spot where, one of my favorite spots Dalton Castle does is when he throws the boys on him. Now, it's as funny when it's 2 because they have to keep repeating getting thrown out and hurry up and getting back in the ring to be tossed out again, hurry up and get back in the ring to get tossed out again. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's 10 of them.
This time he had 10 of them. But the best part is that they went from smallest to big. So they both got increasingly harder to get tossed out the ring. So at first they were flying through the first 3 or 4 of them. And then once you got about the 5th or 6th one, it started being like fat guys. The last one, bro. He went to toss him out the ring. He barely made it through the ropes to the apron. Oh, man. It was almost like he tripped, like and hit the ground. It was hilarious. I was dying.
He tripped and fell.
Basically. It was funny. Match with 22 minutes and 6 seconds. The very, very, very last boy that came out was Cole Hauser, who had won the Emmy that Jericho stole back when he was JAS months ago. I don't know if you remember that. Anyway, sorry, Jericho didn't steal it. Slapnuts and his crew had stole it, and then he had got revenge back, and I think he ended up hitting him with the guitar or something like that. Anyway, he comes out and he helps Dalton Castle. He brings out some tacks, pour the thumbtacks out, bangarang into the thumbtacks for the finish on Johnny TV. Dalton Castle wins, 22 minutes 6 seconds, but the boys are still on. So yeah. Anyway, Kairi Shida taking on Athena for the women's championship. Athena wins it with the Opace. 22 minutes, 35 seconds. I like this match because it increasingly got better as a win. Started off kind of slow, and the crowd started getting more to it, and they started adding more to it, and it ended with a decent crescendo. So I did like the finish of this one. Then we have your World Championship match. Eddie Kingston taking on Mark Briscoe. This was a face-on-face match, but Eddie Kingston played up the heel. which kind of read into the outcome, which didn't make the outcome any worse at all. Very emotional at the end. Mark Briscoe wins the championship 11 years to the day that his brother won it, which his brother just died a little at anniversary, a 2-year anniversary, a little bit ago. You know what I'm saying? It was the anniversary of the day that he had won it on. So I found that interesting in and of itself. Wins it with the Jay Driller. Got busted open in the match. You know what I'm saying? Of course, had to make it bloody. 24 minutes and 13 seconds. Whole family came in the ring, including Jay's kids, his kids, Papa Briscoe. They was all celebrating with him with the streamers flying. The whole roster came out and celebrated with him. So a good moment for Mark. And he's been on a great upward trajectory for him. This has been a great year for him as a single, especially since he said he'll never do a tag like as a crew without his brother. So you only see him in 3 ways in singles for the rest of his career, basically.
I respect
and I think he's been on a fucking awesome trajectory ever since that Continental Classic, so props to him, and he deserves it. Now, Eddie's kind of hasn't been on the same recently, I would say. You've now lost 2 of your 3 belts.
He won them 3 belts and that been on the... he won them.
But they've been great matches, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll give it that. So that's the end of Ring of Honor. So let's get into Mania.
All right.
And the Supercard.
Yeah, then Supercard.
And the Supercard.
Right. I'm going to get into Stand and Deliver, which was, my opinion, probably one of... It sucks that we got to rush through the results because this was a great pay-per-view. Kickoff show, Joe Gacy versus Shawn Spears. Gacy wins this match after he breaks up an upside down in the C4. Gacy hits the upside down for the win at 9 minutes. Next we get the Wolf Dog versus X-Lam and Nathan Frazier. Great match. This match was basically like power versus speed. This whole match was the whole dynamic. Braun Breaker especially speared the holy hell out of Frazier that he went like upside down when he got here. Went there. Great match between that one. Then we get our North American title match with triple between Obafemi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak. This is the match that Josh Briggs broke 2 ribs in. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you see the spot where it happened?
I didn't see the spot where it happened. But basically, it could have been that spot probably where like he had a power bomb. Femi power bomb Briggs, that gets the win there. Dijak wasn't a factor in the decision. It's basically 3 big men beating the holy hell out of each other, basically what they were doing. 6 women tag match, JC Jane, Kiana James, Izzy Dane versus Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kaylani Jordan. This basically was like kind of like a filler match. Thea Hale gets the win here with the Kimura at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Second, we get Ava introduce the NXT Women's North American Championship. So NXT going to get a secondary women's belt.
Do you think that's necessary?
With the draft coming up, probably not, because the rumor that Perez probably will get drafted to one of the brands. So, but with so many women, so I don't know. I'll see. I feel like they can do enough their women division. They do enough their women division that they don't need a secondary title. You still get good matches out of them. I think this is more something like a Fallon Henley to carry, you know. Somebody that's like always gonna get to the main field, but you're not gonna really take her as a constant threat to win it though. Okay. But she can hold this title basically though.
Okay.
So next we get they show Julia on the big screen with William Regal. This part was funny. So she like, man, I heard a whole bunch of cheers. She like, do we do it over today? It was like, no, they're cheering for you. Like all these people here is cheering for you. She didn't think they were cheering for her. So like, it showed that you're. Let America know about you. We know about you. Like, so, black hair. What's the name? She ain't got the braid that she had as she was in Stardom. So, next, we get Perez versus Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship here. Slug out match, basically. This match basically was, remember I told you Valkyria got the arm injury that basically plays into the match.
Right.
Perez tried to get a pop rocks. Valkyrie gets a German suplex off, but the arm, which she turned that to a pop rocks into the crossface to get the win. Basically, the arm basically just had to basically like just tap out because the arm. Tony D'Angelo versus Dragunov for the NXT title. good match, but I felt it could have got better. Could have been better. Dragunov get win with Torpedo. This match you really thought was probably the match that he thought D'Angelo was about to take the title from him. Which when we get in the Raw, we get into why that probably was, but no, he still stays. Tatum Paxi is tried to talk to Valkyria. She don't want to talk. She's still pissed about her match. Then we get our main event: Hayes versus Trick Williams, the grudge match. End of this match basically is Hayes grabs the chair, Williams takes it away, hits him 5 times with the chair. Then the ref grabs the chair, another ref bump, nothing but net for a 2. Then a new ref comes, take the chair away after Hayes tries against the chair again. Trick's finished him with the knee. Trick knee finishes. He gets the win at 15 minutes. So Trick Williams gets the biggest win of his career. He celebrates the end of the show, and that's the end of NXT Stand and Deliver.
It's time for WrestleMania. Let's do it.
Let's do it real quick. Night 1 of Women's Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch.
You want me to do 2? You want me to do night 2?
We can alternate. It don't matter. We can alternate.
All right.
Good match between these two. They played on the fact that she was in this match doing with Strepto and a fever. Basically was power versus speed. Ripley overtook early with the power. Becky came back. Nice spot where Ripley hit a frog splash. 2 straight riptides. One I think she hit her head off to what's the name. But Riptide gets the win there. Wasn't better than her match versus Charlotte last year. That match was just on the nose, that level. I think it was Charlotte wrestled that match with fucking concussion.
You know what's gonna be crazy, and spoilers for Sunday. So she's hurt. It comes up after the fact, but if you were them, though it doesn't take that long to heal from an arm injury, would you hold it off just to have her come back more towards Rumble season to build into Mania next year? This is why I say, because I know it only takes maybe 2 months or something to come back from an arm injury. This is why I say that. To put some spotlight on everybody else in your women's division, and you have this one shadow that you know is back here who coming back for her shit. She's been on such a spotlight the last 2 years, is why I say, it's not like you're going to miss her.
Thing is, we don't know what exactly the shoulder injury is.
I thought it was just a broken arm. It's worse than that?
Nobody never disclosed what it was.
Disclosed it, okay.
They just said it was a freak accident that happened with her arm, so when we get to that, when I get to Raw, how the injury actually happened.
Alright.
Undisputed Tag Championship, Judgment Day, DIY, New Day, Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic. Public here, this match was just spot heavy. You got Tyler Bate basically sandwiching Balor between his shoulders, spinning the ladder. You get New Catch Republic doing moonsaults on the outside. R-Truth just being R-Truth, which is awesome. Basically get to it, A-Town Down Under, gets the SmackDown Championships, and then only for Grayson Waller literally just get power bombed outside the ring through a ladder. Then we get another spot where Kofi basically trunks falls from the ladder. Then Gargano my opinion with the spot of the match, bro. He hit this spot where he ran slingshot through the ring and put Pete Dunne through a table for a tornado DDT, bro.
Yeah, it was right.
That looked scary.
It also took him and his team out of the match.
Because Ciampa then took Tyler Bate out with an air raid crash off the ladder. Basically, JD tried to interfere, but didn't get to the end of the match where
talk about him right quick. So when he gets tossed off of that ladder later, which we're about to get to, he completely cleared that first table.
Yeah, he did.
To the back of his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, they tipped him off the ladder, and he was the name. And then basically, we had another blunder spot where the ref had people saying, the ref was actually telling Priest y'all gotta do that spot on the ladder. That ladder is real.
Cause they were trying to hold it. Yeah.
She told him no.
He was just like. Yeah, he kept trying to climb.
No. And then when he stepped on the ladder, then he realized, dang, okay, I gotta get another ladder. But he took too long. R-Truth got the revenge, get the title for Awesome Truth. So Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, are your new tag team champions.
The best part was the next night, after everything that happens at Mania and they're all just playing their titles, Truth just comes in like, that was the funniest shit.
I'm about to get into all that.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. I'm
Raw
sorry.
will be a good one.
I keep previewing. I'm sorry.
Next we get Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio here. Basically, Rey Mysterio and Andrade gets the win after two math men, enormous math men. I already knew off rip.
I instantly knew who both were. I knew
who Jason Kelsey was off rip. I didn't know the owner was Lane Johnson. You say you knew Mariah because he got that barbarian like mustache.
Yeah, he like the barbarian.
So I knew it was I knew it was Jason Kelsey already. I'm like, you can see the dad vibe, bro. Like he just been everywhere on fucking TV. Who else?
I think they got inspired because they saw him after the Super Bowl celebrating with that kid's lucha mask on.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, oh, well, that gives me some thoughts. Let's do this.
Next we get brother versus brother. Jay defeats Jimmy. For some reason this
match sucked.
I'm about to say it felt bad.
It sucked from beginning to end.
Like,
it sucked from Lil Wayne coming out. The whole goddamn thing sucked. This was the worst match of WrestleMania.
Yeah, man. Like
by far.
Way easily, bro. Like I thought this would be one of the match of the night, man. But the main thing, this match was so bad. We just kept talking about how the fact that
Future Mount Rushmore.
How Jimmy just looked at so.
Because of this, it made me think Future Mount Rushmore, brother versus brother matches. They're more than you think.
That would be a good one. Real life brothers or like actual brother or just like they play brother like
both.
Okay.
We could do both.
All right.
Because summer gimmick, you don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of shrinks our list if we stick to just actual blood brothers. Though we could still do a Mount Rushmore because I actually thought of actual blood brothers from this. They're one. I ain't gonna give them all away. We're talking about Mount Rushmore. But either way, we can do it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm down with that. Put in the
yeah, that's maybe we do that for Sunday. That'll be Sunday.
Lock it up. All right then. I'm cool with that. This match was slow. It was short. I feel like it should have been. I felt that the build didn't live up to it. The main thing we just kept talking about how Jimmy just looked like he taking an early step to being out of shape, bro.
Oh yeah, we were clowning that. I was like, bro, they got highlighting about his physique. Like, what's going on? Not the body shame, but come on, man.
Next we get Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control.
Thought it was a good way to get all these ladies on the card. Damage Control did the honors here.
Yes.
I thought they came out looking like a female version of the Avengers in their entrance, so that was cool.
Shout out to Naomi. She had the that was Naomi. That was Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
Had the Kung Lao hat on from Mortal Kombat.
God, Kung Lao. That was I can't think of it.
I feel you the Kung Lao.
I thought she was biting off of Julia Hart a little bit, but you know,
all right. Kung Lao hat on. Got a big old hat on with the Mustang. I'm like, okay. I was like, nice. I see you. They came out there. Basically, Oscar missed Kari Zane. Then Belair basically whip Oscar with the ponytail, and then Cargill basically gets the win with the jaded. The one thing about this match is that when they was in the ring, Cargill, what's the name? And I guess Kari Zane like left the ring late, and then people like Mark Kingdom trying to say, oh, she was being disrespectful to them. I'm like, no, how's she being disrespectful? Because she probably just
selling. Being knocked the fuck out.
No, I'm talking about when they were doing their entrance. Like, I guess she got out the ring a little bit later, probably, and they trying to say she was being disrespectful. I'm like, I'm just trying to find shit to pick on, bro.
Yeah, that take a lot of time. People do that.
Like, right. Like, she actually was jamming. What got me is that her and Oscar just dancing to the song as it was coming out, though. Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
Underrated, probably second best match of the weekend.
We both agree that this whole build to it was crazy.
Shit, but the match was great.
The match was great, but the build was crazy. Like the whole thing, I get it with him and the kid. We get that. Chad Gable, understandably so, but then he had like the long ass walk where he beat Kevin Owens at it wasn't Gorilla exactly, but he made just about he meets KO, then his music plays, start walking on. That was like 9 minutes of all that shit being.
Oh, we'll get into it in a second.
But overall, this was a great match between these two, man. Gunther was just beating the hell out of Zayn. Zayn basically just would not go down. We talked about this. Spike brain busting to the turnbuckle, 2 Huluva kicks, and that basically took out Gunther.
Basically, the theme of the match was Gunther's hubris cost him his belt. Laughing at Sami Zayn's wife, and not
Go to
taking
the
Sami Zayn
turnbuckle.
seriously, and it cost him.
Realized he was in a dog fight more.
And
than
also, it's time to move him up to the big belt.
I think that's why I said I think he wasn't. I think he's gonna get pushed to that main title pick.
He might be. He's my early pick for winning Rumble next year.
I can see it. I picked him to win it this year.
Real quick. So since you brought it up, we're gonna touch on it right fucking now. This was the moment I hit the wall, and I couldn't take it any fucking more. And I'm gonna talk about it right fucking now because you just gave the example of it before the Sami Zayn match. Every single match, not just night 1, night 2, had a 10-minute build to catch you up to what the fuck the match is.
I watched night 2 late on purpose.
Bro, if you just add up that pre-show shit before every match, that was an hour of this motherfucking day. It was so annoying. And then going into the main event, which was even worse with it. You talking about it just get brought up bad memories of this shit happening. So I had to touch on that. WWE, y'all gotta stop doing that shit. Go ahead, man.
Like I said, yeah. So then we get to our main event, which was Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins
20 minutes later.
versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. This.
It was. Remember I showed you, I jumped on the time thing to show you, like, bro, literally 20 minutes, bro.
My question was this. That ain't my question. I was like, Roman Reigns come out slow as hell already. He take forever. Then you got The Rock, who...
And the special entrances, too, on top of all that shit.
I will say...
For all of them.
Hey, like I said, man, that shit was long. My thing is, I get it. My thing, like, if you gonna do all that, you should only do it for the main event. The main event deserves it. I get a Rock a pack, bro. I just love that fucking entrance, bro. It's just badass, bro. It's Final Walk level, bro. It's like you play Mortal Kombat and you beat everybody. He's Shokan. He comes out here with this special entrance, lights thundering on him. He looked like Thanos off a portal. And he actually was in shape this time, too. I mean, give him props. He ain't tore nothing. He said he ain't tore nothing.
He came out unscathed.
He came out unscathed. This match basically was back and forth. We ain't gonna get talking. This match was just long as shit. Shit, basically. We're gonna get to the end here, basically. This match was like 50 minutes. It felt so much longer because basically it was just based like prodding around, because that's what you get with a Roman Reigns match. Now you add The Rock prodding ass to it too. I felt they did The Rock well. They covered them. They kept them outside. They didn't get that much like ring action in. But the end of this match basically comes is that weight belt, Reigns tagged in, rock bottom, people's elbow, Mama Rose.
That was the funniest part of the match. He kept talking to Mama Rose.
Did hit the people's elbow. Look at yourself. Nah, I would have missed it.
She's like, bullshit. So this is bullshit.
That was so fucking funny. And then
Mama Rose was pissed.
Mama Rose was heated. People's elbow. He gets the win. Bloodline rules night 2. For night 2.
So it sets up Bloodline rules for the main event of night 2.
That was the end of night 1.
I'm gonna jump into night 2 for you. You can take a break there, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right, night 2. Quick opinion. Which one night was better for you?
Which one was better?
Mm-hmm.
Night 2 had more of the bigger moments. I mean, I get it. Spoiler: Cody finished the story, which is the reason we watched. I felt night 1 was better to me.
All right.
Me.
Stephanie comes out and starts night 2. Triple H came out and started night 1. You know, welcome to WrestleMania. We also had an opening thing with Meek Mill.
Again.
Heavyweight championship match. Seth Rollins with another long ass entrance. I don't even know what these people were called, but they were dressed like they were doing like Indian rain dances or some feather crew. I don't remember.
It was some kind of I don't know. I don't remember what they were. I'm like, who the fuck is all these people coming out? Was this their tribute to what is the name of the dude that had all them people with him?
Oh, Adam Rose?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That was way better than him.
No, because all the people he had with him actually all became famous WWE superstars.
Most of them.
Alexa Bliss was one. Becky Lynch was one. Braun Strowman. Yeah. Carmella, you know.
So, anyway, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre was the opening match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins loses this one. It was a great match because McIntyre went for the juggler quick. He came out claymoring out the gate, and he kept getting frustrated as the match went further on because he couldn't close it out. Eventually, he does end up closing it out. And once again, hubris cost you. The one thing I will say that was probably my favorite thing of this main event, not this main event, but of this WrestleMania, is that when they say it's a new era, it is. Besides, like maybe 1 or 2 belts, all
every
belts
title
change
change
hands.
except for Ripley.
That's it.
The only one that retained.
Yep, and that makes sense. And then look what happened to her. Bad luck caught her. Now her shit's out her hands too. A couple weeks later. Anyway, so this one ends with McIntyre hitting another Claymore, like his 3rd one of the damn match. And it actually didn't go as long as I thought. I thought this went longer than they said it did. They said it went 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I thought it was longer.
No, yeah, it was a short match.
He finally gets it in front of the fans. He's out there with his new wife, celebrate for her, gives her a kiss. His homies out in the front row. See CM Punk on commentary. Just had to go stand on that table, put it in front of his face. Like, yeah. What now? Yeah. Did it a little too much. Punk got mad and said, all right then, bitch. Took off his bracelet, knocked his ass out with it.
I like what CM Punk saying.
Then all of a sudden we hear Damian Priest music.
He like, yeah, CM Punk like, yeah. He like, yeah. You want a title, but you're talking to me though. You want a title, you're focused on me though.
Not the best.
Moment. Celebrate your moment.
Not the greatest cash in. But the second greatest cash in Mania history to me.
It was funny too because he ran
behind steps.
He ran and cracked McIntyre with the briefcase and get up like, no, boop.
He said, you ain't talking to me. He said, I am turning this in right now. South of Heaven. Damian Priest, who I just found out as a Yankees fan, world champion. Now with Judgment, that's good for him. He's a new champ. So sorry, you got your moment though, Drew. Before you got Chuck. Next up, one of the shittiest matches of the night for me personally. It wasn't that bad. It was just a lot of placating to the ECW fans in the crowd with Bubba Ray Dudley on the commentary. Not the commentary, but as a rap. It was street fight match with the Final Testament taking on Bobby Lashley in the street fight.
That match was when B-Fab was it B-Fab that took Scarlett the Spirit through the table? Mm-hmm. Like they went out through the ring with the table. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
This match, Frog Splash puts Cross out and gives for the pin 8 minutes 34 seconds. Oh, Snoop was on commentary, so that's what
that shit was funny.
He was funny on commentary. That's why the best part of that match.
That was the family reunion table right there. I'm like, damn, that's so fucking true. I like we do use them table that family reunion. Damn you, Snoop, you got me so obvious with stuff.
LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Puma Asics. Yeah. This is actually a really good match. Had a decent build going into it. This match ends with a blunt force trauma, 12 minutes and 23 seconds. Taking AJ Styles out.
He gave away a car too.
Who gave away a car?
LA Knight gave away that Slim Jim car.
Oh, okay.
Some chick in the front row. Some older lady in the front row.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's how he pulled up in Mania in the car.
The Hall of Fame class is announced for 2024. U.S. Express and Bray Wyatt shirts. Thunderbolt Patterson with Joe Briscoe, Bull Nakano, Leah Maivia represented by her daughter, which is of course Rock's father. Rock's mother. I apologize. Muhammad Ali, who wasn't represented at all, oddly, and Paul Heyman.
Yeah, one I felt was odd. That wasn't nobody to represent Muhammad Ali.
Next match: Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. I hate Logan Paul, so we're gonna skip to the end of this real quick. He had another one of his I Speed something.
I Show Speed.
Whoever, some other
YouTube guy. He's weird as hell. That barking shit that he does, that's something that he does in real life, bro.
Either way, Logan Paul somehow wins because that guy comes out into some type of distraction.
It's funny though, man.
Shoves Orton to the side. Frog Splash on Owens, gets the pin. 17 minutes 38 seconds. Continue.
You missed the best part of that whole match. When Orton barked back down for him with an RKO on the table. He's like, I'm like, Randy, stop, bro. Like, yeah.
WWE Women's Title match: Bayley versus Io Sky, which is a pretty good match. I was confused about Bayley's entrance. Originally, it was supposed to be Paramore, but then we found out like a couple days before the show Paramore couldn't do it. So now it was like some Egyptian thing. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think they had them booked. I think they were supposed to actually perform the song like live. I think.
Right.
But they couldn't get there in time. So yeah, her entrance was kind of confusing to me too.
Yeah.
I want to hug her Bailey back.
But she picked up a WrestleMania win here with the Rose Plant after it was originally blocked. 14 minutes 23 seconds, so good for her. And then we are here at the main event. Universal title match, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, Bloodline Rules. This match was fun. They threw everything in the kitchen sink, but we got to the end result that you wanted, so it was cool. And it didn't feel too over the top for me because literally when all of the Gaga happened, it felt like it was like a scene. It was like Cody's down. Boom. Here comes Jay. Everybody's coming in. Here comes all the interference in the match. You got Rock coming in. You got Taker coming in. You got Seth Rollins dressed like the Shield coming in, even though he got took the fuck out real quick. All that shit happened. Back to scene, back to the match. That's literally how it felt for me. Oh, John Cena was in there too. I forgot about that. But I wanted to mention all the players.
No. I get what you're saying. The way it was, bro, because Jimmy comes out there.
I literally felt like
Jay comes
it affected the match, but it didn't. It was just like, I felt like the match stopped. All that shit happened. Matt picked up a win. It literally felt like that.
Yeah, and sync with that.
I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
two props. One, I gotta give Roman his props because Roman hit the crossroads. I think in that match, he's like, that move ain't being nobody. There ain't nobody losing to that move. There ain't nobody. And then after the end thing, what I said was amazing.
He did three in a row to do it, and he's right though. Even when his brother does it, he don't be taking nobody up.
That's smart.
His brother be having to do two to take cats out.
Yeah, like I said, that whole instinct. I agree. It was like it reminded me of Attitude Era, basically how it was. Because you said you got interference here. Jake takes him out through a table. Then out comes Solo, gets that off. Here comes John Cena. Then The Rock comes out here. Then all of a sudden, we were expecting Stone Cold. No, we got Undertaker.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We expected Stone Cold. Who it turns out they didn't offer him enough money.
Yeah, Stone Cold instead, which that turned into a social
you got Taker
for
instead.
The Rock, and then that leads back to the two main players. Steph comes out here with the Shield. What's the name?
Dyed his hair and everything.
He went back old Shield, and some that
just to get took out in 2 seconds.
And it's some that he said a couple months ago for this whole thing. He said, Cody, he said, I'm going to be your Shield. And what happened? Roman still couldn't get over the fact that he got betrayed 10 years ago by Seth Rollins, and it cost you your match. Because you could have took out Cody, but nope, you had to take out Seth, and it cost you. Cody got his moment. Proud of Cody.
Match went 33 minutes and 34 seconds.
At least it wasn't
as we said, Cody hit 3 straight crossroads to pick up the victory.
It wasn't a Roman Reigns like 30-minute match. He just walking around for a lot of the time, though. Roman's ass, man.
So we got to see him celebrate with the fam, and everybody was there, and he got the belt, and he finished the story.
He got to finish that. His daddy got one. I think he won.
And it's the end of WrestleMania night too.
When Dusty finally won the belt from Ric Flair, and he had all the wrestlers came into.
It was like the second Starrcade, I want to say.
Yeah, they did the same thing for Cody, basically. He said he got his daddy's watch back after what's the name? That's what they gave him.
So next up was AEW Collision, which also happened that day, which they smartly decided not to air until after night 2 was over. So it came on at 11:30. Which sucked for me because it was like, oh god, it's gonna be a really long night. But anyway, after night 1 happened. Go ahead.
I said, but it went for the wrestling fans.
Yeah, it went for wrestling fans in that way. They said it was due to the Final Four, which ain't unofficially WrestleMania, but their excuse was the Final Four. Opened up with a tag team title tournament semifinals match. FTR taking on Top Flight. Top guys out. They win this one, taking out Darius with the Shadow Machine for the pin. 15 minutes and 40 seconds.
So close, man.
Well, they're working. They're building them up.
I'm going to see them get one title run.
Pac in a squash match against Encore Moore. Encore got no encore. Brutalizer finishes him off 2 minutes 24 seconds. Post-match, Pac challenges Okada. Next up, Hook and Chris Jericho versus St. Taylor Promotions. This one had an interesting.
Chris Jericho still on buffering mode.
Kinda, but you didn't notice it as much because Shane Taylor's on buffering mode, and that's just how he's a bigger dude. Like yeah. So it matched up that way. Anyway, eventually this one came down to a Border City stretcher, got reversed into the walls. Hook managed to put the T-bone on Taylor, leaving him ready to tap out 8 minutes and 55 seconds. So victory for Lion Hook, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Post-match, Anthony Ogogo returns to W. Here's my thing. He returns to AEW. Now, last time we saw Anthony Ogogo was considered some of the worst time in Cody's AEW run. Guess what? Hasn't gotten much better. I saw one of the... Now, I know you got to pull your punches. You can't really be knocking cats out, especially if you actually were a boxer in the UK. His pulled punch looked fucking terrible.
Oh.
I was not feeling it.
Oh.
But... he's here. He's been gone since August of 2022. It's almost 2 whole years. Dustin Rhodes, since his brother won a championship, decided, hey, it runs in the family. I'm challenging a man named Joe that's Samoan on our show for their world champions because he challenged Samoa Joe.
Name Joe.
Next up, Ospreay said...
Oh, Cody Boy was there too when he won his championship. Ricky Stark was in a box.
Good for him.
Super ass stoked, bro.
Good for him because he was hurt, so it's good to see it.
I'm glad that he was there for that moment. That is like Cody, what's his name?
Your main event. Not your main event. Next matchup is a trios match. House of Black taking on Christopher Daniels, Matt Sydal, and Brian Keith.
Lost.
Yep, you said it before I could say it. You won the prize, and I was gonna say,
Why y'all put Brian Keith in there?
yes, thank you. You took the next words out my fucking
Put
mouth.
Brian Keith with them too. That man actually is good. That man actually does some work.
9
Daniels
minutes.
gets the pass because he's older. So now he's more pushing people over. I can't make an excuse for Matt Sydal. I just can't.
Swinging pump handle slam by Matthews finishes off Daniels. 9 minutes and 26
Daniels taking the
seconds.
pins, man.
They announced they're going to show the backstage footage after the CM Punk Ariel Helwani interview. This is where it was officially announced. And when they did it, when they announced it, it felt shoehorned in. Now, when we talk about it, it don't. But when they said it on here, it felt shoehorned in. Like, that was out of nowhere. Like, okay. There was no preview to it or nothing. They just randomly just said it after the match.
Was the Bucks probably using their EVP powers?
No, they didn't say it either. They made whoever was announcing say it.
Wow.
Yeah, which was, I think it was Nigel McGuinness and Tony Schiavone. But yeah, it made them say it. They didn't make the Bucks ain't come and say shit.
Oh, wow.
Jericho said they want to fight Sanitary Promotions. Hook, they're like a 3-way because of Anthony Ogogo thing. So now they said they got somebody to bring it in. It's Katsuyori Shibata to even things up. You know, he talks with his phone and stuff. So that's his comedy part of that. Next up, Yuka Sakazaki, you haven't seen in a while, taking on Trish Adora. Trish Adora put up a good fight against her, but loses to Yuka. Spinning hammerlock slam, drops Adora again, top rope splash. Wins it 8 minutes 34 seconds for Yuka Sakazaki. Post-match, Serena D comes downstairs or down, so I guess they got a match coming up soon. Promo for Dan Garcia presented by Matt Menard, and then we get your semi-main, which is Claudio Castagnoli taking on the Butcher. Claudio wins with a neutralizer. And your main event is Penta Israel Metal taking on Commander. Pretty good match.
The main event?
Yep. A pretty good match. Well, because they're setting up Penta for his match against Edge on Dynamite for the belt, for the TNT. Cole Breaker sets up a Fear Factor for the win. 14 minutes, 12 seconds. Speaking of Edge, Adam Copeland comes down and stares down Penta with the title on the shoulder. Post match. That's the end of Collision.
It's a mixed bag on that Collision. Right, Monday Night Raw. This is the Raw after Mania. Start with Triple H. H basically gets fans riled up. He said it's one of the biggest and greatest Mania of all time. He welcomes us to he said, I'm gonna bring out the man that's gonna lead us to a new era. Out comes Cody. They give Cody the whole treatment. They play this video package with Andre Day Rise Up, basically showing Cody's struggles and when he was Stardust to when he walked out to everything over there. Comes out. He asked Samantha Irvin to introduce him again because some reason he loves Samantha Irvin. Got to introduce him every time he had a big moment. Then comes out The Rock. Well, no, not yet. My fault. He basically acknowledged Roman Reigns himself. Then The Rock comes out. Again, we talk about anybody getting into this whole thing was just cringe. Some reason The Rock kept putting the mic up and the fans are booed. He'll put it back down. He basically asked Cody, can he hold his belt? And Cody said, sure, if you hold mine. He said his daddy wasn't happy with what he did to Cody, but he don't care. Basically, and he basically said he gotta go away for a while, but your story just not beginning. No, his words were, your story with Roman has ended, But our story is just beginning, basically, what it was. 7 was cool, but it was super ass cringy, though. Cringy, though. Next, we get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dragunov. Dragunov gets the win here in 4 minutes and 13 seconds. He has announced that he will be part of the draft, so he is eligible to be drafted. Next, we get the whole thing with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Judgment Day come out here to brag about their success, basically. Rhea comes out, she brag about retaining her title. Then she introduced Priest. Priest says, the fans say you deserve it. Priest said, you damn right I do. Then it's the party talking about they pose with their title, and then R-Truth comes up behind them like this. He just the best part was Priest like, not again. We are not doing this again. And he said, well, I want to be a part. Well, since we invite me to the Judgment Day, he invite Miz. Miz, I don't want to be a part of Judgment Day. Throughout the day. And then he like, Truth don't want to be a part of it. Priest like, he's not in Judgment Day. This leads to a tag match when he said, we want to team with the guy that you can't see. This leads to Judgment Day versus Awesome Truth. To get to the end of this match, the guy that you can't see, John Cena, actually comes out here. They all do the whole 5-knuckle shuffle thing. Some weird reason, bro. Miz with the worst AA ever, bro. Look at that. You seen that hit this AA, bro? It looked like he ain't even, I don't know, bro. It looked at botchy, bro. It was bad. But they get the win in 10 minutes here. Bronson Reed talks about winning Andre the Giant Battle Royal, talking about he's going to break people in the ring. Rhea Ripley basically tells Donna Mysterio go deal with Andrade, basically. And then this the part where, so they walk off, Dominic walks off, and all of a sudden you see, bow, chair, boom. Just hit Rhea Ripley, and you got Liv Morgan standing there like this. And she just go boom. She just starts attacking. She throws into the wall. That's how Ripley hurt her shoulder. That they said was a free accident. She has no heat backstage from nobody. Ripley's not mad. It was a free accident related to the shoulder being messed up, basically. Then basically beat her down, basically the end of that. Eddie Hartwell versus Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez get the win here at 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Not that much of a squash match. Tried to get there. Then she runs to Natalya. Natalya challenged her to a match. Sami Zayn comes out. Shows Brett about being Gunter. Then we get him and Sammy versus Imperium. Gable and Sammy gets the win here at 12 minutes. Then we get to Chelsea Green, who basically have a match. Her opponent is Jade Cargill. And now we do get to play this game. She talking about her WrestleMania mom. Well, guess that squash.
Dun, 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 dun. 1 minute and 35 seconds.
31 seconds.
Damn, I was off by 4 seconds.
31 seconds. She literally walks into a jaded and that's it. That's it. Then Drew McIntyre comes out here and he said he was. You remember talking about his mom? You know how long his mom lasted with the fans? 5 minutes and 46 seconds. That's how long his championship reign lasts. And they laugh. He said you can laugh, but that's 5 more minutes longer than some of y'all last in bed. Last in bed. He said he respects Seth Rollins. He said, but he called him that bondage Undertaker, messed everything up. That's what he called him, bondage Undertaker. We sound even worse than the emo Undertaker. He said it's CM Punk's fault. He's going for Punk weakest part, his entire body. Then this leads to our Fatal 4-Way match. The winner gets a shot at Damian Priest. You get Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed versus Ricochet. Spot of the week.
Why you saying like it was 2 words? Rick O'Shea.
Ricochet. He don't get.
Hell no.
Ricochet had the best spot of this match, bro. And probably my spot of the week. Bronson Reed is set up on the table. Ricochet runs off the top rope, does a 450 on the outside through the table. And the table actually, what's the name?
Damn.
Yeah. Name. And back inside, Future Shock on Uso. He loads up the Claymore. CM Punk basically pops up, grabs the leg for a distraction. Spear. Super kick, spear, super fly smash. beats McIntyre 17 minutes. Jey Uso is your number one contender for Damian Priest at Backlash. And that's the end of Monday Night Raw. Now we get to NXT. Alrighty, now NXT. Roxanne Perez starts this thing off. She said she can't believe anyone's surprised that she saw what happened on Saturday because justice was being served. She said nobody can take that title for her, and she said the next time she loses that title, when she gives it up, it's going to either Raw or SmackDown. That's her essentially. We said that they wanted to bring her up. Carrie comes in with an arm in a sling, says she wants a rematch. Paxley pops up and says that she's ready. Then she sends Valkyrie to the steps and walk off, basically. So basically, she turned on Valkyrie, basically. And then Ava says yes, but then she said the title shot.
Can I ask why she's getting a title shot?
I don't know. No, Perez said we won't be seeing the title match tonight because Natalya, who told Perez she's going to see her tonight, will face her.
The boat.
But because she said that, everybody said no, I'm going to make it a title match because her and Ava ain't been on the best of terms. The whole thing, she walking around here, she basically undermining everything Ava does. Basically, is what she's doing.
The boat.
Oh God, we ain't about to start with that shit. I'm mad at that. The boat. Nathan Frazier and XM are getting their last tag team title shot tonight. They don't win, they're done as a team. And we get Fallon Henley, Kaylani Drummers, Kiana James, and Izzy Dane. After Jordan gets a cheap shot, Henley tries to go in for the save, but she walks to the 401k, which gives Kiana James to win. Then we get the No Cash Crew, No Gabagulak. Basically talk about blood sport. Then the D'Angelo family come in, basically insults are made. Then we get Javon Evans versus Scripps. Evans is 19 years old. He's been on NXT leveled up. He gets the win here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Then we get the title matches, Natalya versus Roxanne Perez. The end of this match, basically, crossface. She turns that into a sharpshooter. Rock, take notes. Actually learn how to do a sharpshooter. Then Lola Vice comes out here with a cheap shot on Natalya, which allows the Pop Rocks for the win. Next, we get No Catch Crew versus the D'Angelo family. The D'Angelo family wins at 4 minutes. Open Femme said that Dijak and Briggs are tough, but his dominance was just inevitable. Ivar comes out, said he loves seeing those three monsters being thrown into each other. He wants to fit in because he feels like he can take them down, so this leads to a match. No, my fault. It leads to a fight between them, and Ivar takes out Femme and basically holds up his title. So you're gonna get another match between them two. That's gonna be a good match too. Then you get Jaden Parker versus Brittany Reese. Parker hits the win here at 8 minutes. Then we get our tag team title match. Exxon versus Nathan Frazier versus the Wolf Dogs. We're gonna get to the end here. Frazier dives onto the floor. He gets into the step. Exxon got to go one-on-one with Breaker. That don't keep him down for long. Breaker's spear almost hits Corbin. Exxon kicks them together. Golden ratio to Corbin, which sets up the 450 win to give Frazier the win and to give Exxon and Frazier the titles at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And that's because Braun Breaker officially is getting called up. He won't be on NXT no more. He gave a message after showing off the air, so he's officially main roster draft eligible. We don't know about where lead to Baron Corbin. Might get bum ass Corbin. We might. They go to celebrate, then they get jumped up by AOP. Trick Williams basically come out here, brags about his win. He said next he gotta be dragging off for the title. Williams dragging off basically says, okay, that's cool, you get your match. Hayes jump Williams from behind. He knocks him to dragging off. Hayes throws away. Cage match between him and Williams next week. Williams had to win. Williams almost had to win. given the stipulations. But so it seems like Trick probably gonna take that title off Dragunov, but it's no Dragunov basically declared himself for the draft, so that means Trick possibly might go over, probably take the title. So we'll see.
Interesting. Is that the end of
That's the end of NXT. Yeah.
All right, let's get into Dynamite. We got 2 more shows this week. Let's go. All righty. This was the worst episode of Dynamite of 2024. Now, it wasn't terrible. It was just very mid, as my man MJF would like to say.
Mid.
And for me, this has been the worst one, which that one wasn't really a bad one. It was just that end segment brought it down so much, and you'll know what I'm about to bring up once you hear me reference it. But do you remember when we had that match with Slapnuts and Jeff Hardy, and it was like a street fight, but then it involved like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then they had that fake Leatherface come out.
That's not really that match.
This show was on the same level as that one for me, just because
that fucking
there was a lot that happened that was just kind of. Well, let's get into it. All right, so the opening match was supposed to be Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes. Before Joe even gets to the ring, he gets attacked by Swerve Strickland and gets speared through a table, like off the side of the ramp or whatever. So that basically takes Joe out, or at least for the beginning. So the match happens, but it's later in the show instead of the beginning of the show. Next, we get a recap of why Trent Beretta turned on Orange Cassidy, which you really didn't get a reason. You just saw your girl Chris Statlander approaching backstage saying, "How are you gonna do it to your best friend?" He whispers something to her and then just keeps walking. Cassidy's gonna have a match and comments on Rampage, which I don't even remember him really having comments on Rampage, but we'll get there. Anyway,
oh, Cassidy?
Yeah.
Oh, he probably did. He just ain't saying them out loud.
Maybe not said much, huh? TNT title match, Penta Zero Miedo taking on Adam Copeland. This is a pretty good match, but I felt like Adam Copeland was on buffer mode for most of it. Penta came out to shoot, like a shotgun real fast, but Copeland just seemed real slow the whole match before he started coming on and actually, fighting back with him. But the fans seem to be loving it at the same time.
I think it's probably because when he was like in WWE, he ain't really faced nobody fast like Penta or what's the name. That's probably what it was.
Because of the WWE style, maybe, yeah. Maybe
he was to the speed of him.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
He come out like a badass. Him and Ray Phoenix, bro.
He got caught with the Canadian Destroyer, but then he gets back up and hits a spear to retain his title. 20 minutes and 42 seconds. Post-match, lights go out and Julia Hart's in the ring to distract him. Brody King appears to choke off Copeland. Willow comes down to make a distracting save, taking out Nightingale. Had a lot of the mist on her face. Like, she didn't get misted, but like she speared her when she was about to miss, or caught some ricochet of that. Chris Jericho, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata are backstage getting ready to take on Shane Taylor Promotions. By the way, if I didn't say it before, Anthony Ogogo joined Shane Taylor Promotions. This is why he came out to make that attack after the match on Collision. Anyway, so this is where the seeds get planted. So Jericho saying, "I'm the quarterback. Y'all just follow my lead. When we get to the ring, everything's gonna be cool." And he kind of walks off. And then Katsuyori Shibata with his phone thing, he's like, "One cent's down." And Hook's like, "I don't know, man. We'll just, we'll see it out there in the ring." And then he makes it say, "Your necklace is nice," to Renee. Moving on from there, we get a recap of FTR and the Bucks over the years. Next, we see Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston, who are cool again after their great match they had where Briscoe just beat him for his championship. Copeland comes out and comments on that and says, saying you guys had an amazing match. And then this was geek from here. So talk about how they had an amazing match, and then complimenting Willow Nightingale and thank you for coming out and making the save. Stokely Hathaway's like, "You know what? After seeing all that fire coming out of Willow to come out and make the save for you, I think you should put that TNT title on the line next week against Willow Nightingale." Willow Nightingale's like, hold on. That's not what the hell I was about to say. What I was saying was,
too much.
See, that's not what I was about to say. See, what I was about to say was, I think we should do a mixed tag next week against the House of Black. Tell me how that sounds to you. Edge was like, "You know what? I got an idea. Willow, me and you should have a mixed tag next week against the House of Black." And I'm thinking, like, she just fucking said that. Why'd you repeat it? It was so buttered. Shit like this is why it was a mid-show. We put the funny joke in there with Stokely. Anyway, so here we go. This is the most watched part of the entire show this week. So FTR is shown here, and they're sitting like in the backstage in front of like a mini like TV or whatever behind them, and they're explaining why they're showing this, and they feel like FTR has set it up to distract them from their match against them at Wembley, and that's why they didn't shake their hands after the fact, because they were too distracted with having to be EVPs and having handled the Punk thing, and they called them to not be able to do the typical pre-match stuff, and then that's why they lost. So that's what they basically said. I told you they tied it in the storyline. That's what they said. Basically, and they the way they said it,
I'm not mad at it.
But they said it like some jealous bitches. The way they said it, they was all salty and shit. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I like that.
And then it said the incident was short and it resembled a high school scrap, but it's starting to take down the biggest show ever that the company's done. Then they showed the footage, and the footage was so anticlimactic, as we talked about before the show. Nobody even noticed that they were going at it, even arguing with each other, outside of maybe 2 people in the entire room, and there was at least 20 or 30 backstage in that little area there, Sean. And then Punk pushes him for whatever he said, because Jack Perry seemed cool, calm, collected. He was running his hands through his hair the whole conversation, so it didn't seem like he would say, if you were in a position to say something that you know that somebody's about to try to fight you for, he definitely wasn't showing it from his actions. So then from there, Punk
I will say this: he may not have been showing him, but he probably did say something.
Punk pushed him and then put him in the front face lock. The shit lasted 10 seconds. Samoa Joe and some other backstage people, I think one of the refs, broke it up. Then Punk from there knocked over a monitor and jumped Tony Khan's face. I guess that's when he was screaming, I quit, pointing at him, before he got walked off by Chris Hero, which I said was the best part of the entire video, because afterwards was Chris Hero doing this, didn't say a damn word, but his actions spelled out everything. It was just this. You could tell that meant this is conversations and meetings and paperwork for months.
That's actually a bunch of shit I don't want to do.
It was so classic. The whole clip has about 1 minute and 15 seconds. In all of this, real quick sidebar, AEW, I don't know why you did this, Tony Punk. It didn't make you look any better after the fact. You should have just let it go like you originally were, moved on like everybody else has said. It doesn't make you look any better after. I also don't think it makes you look extremely worse. I think people saying that or overreacting, talking about this makes you look like WCW in the year 2000. I don't know about all of that now. Y'all
they was leaking results of matches.
And telling you to go watch championship matches on the other shows because they already knew.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't think it's that bad. I think everybody has been overreacting on all sides to it coming out. Tony Khan overreacting to CM Punk, which caused him to do this to begin with, was to overreact and a reach. Just let it go and move on with your company. You're putting on just as good of matches. You're putting on just as good of matches, if not better matches, than the competition that you are claiming to be the number 2 competitor brand to. Right now, you're not the competitor brand to. Though in this very shitty way of, which we didn't mention, I should have mentioned, WWE, if you're so much on top, you got to be a draft. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't look down amongst you because you the tallest. You know what I'm saying? You already in rarefied air. So why you keep looking down to spit on and drop shits on? Because you did it all Mania weekend.
All them little cheap ass shots.
All them little cheap ass shots ain't necessary. Talk about, oh, well, when you're in competition with yourself, you know what I'm saying? All this. Yeah. I'm just being honest. And then you have Pat McAfee tie into it and shit too. Like, that shit is corny, bro.
Pat McAfee is the instigator.
That shit is corny. You don't need it. It's unnecessary. And then, Tony, you're stupid for letting you tie yourself into it. I get wrestlers commenting to comments that others said, like Will Ospreay, which we'll get to in a second. I thought Will Ospreay was totally deserved to do that. He's punching up. That's my point. WWE, if you're up here, why are you punching down so much? If you're up here, act like you're up here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just bad on all sides, and I just wish people would move on. Continue, brother.
All sides need to just stop doing it. Like,
just move on,
man. It's competition, but like, if you gonna go back and forth, let it be competition reasons. Don't let it be pet. Like, if you like, oh well, like AEW would say, well, I think our tag team division will kill anyone. That's not being petty. That's like, you could stand on your credence like that, like about your tag division. WWE can be like, well, I think our women division is what they can stand on that. I don't like the little petty shots like all them petty shots, and it comes for both sides. But Tony Khan is, to me is showing more and more that, like, bro, you gotta let that shit go, bro. Let it go. To me, by you responding to everything, to me, it makes me think that, like, y'all AEW not,
that giraffe comment goes to him too.
AEW ain't going nowhere. But to me, it got me looking like, man, I get it. It's different. It's a different realm. Like, it's Vince and Triple H. It's different. Like, I think a lot of people is praising the way Triple H been running things since he took over. Now, and I think, like, you going after Jinder Mahal. Why are you going after guys like Jinder Mahal for? You shouldn't have gave that man no time of attention.
Yeah, you got to stop. Yeah, I said you got that giraffe comment applies to him also. He needs to stop.
Stop going back and forth with everybody. Like,
so FTR comes out for unscheduled chat. A lot of people have been making a lot out of Tony Schiavone's face after it aired. Tony Schiavone's face wasn't about that. They keep trying to make it seem like that Tony came out with his own words in his podcast this week and said, "This is my company and I love them to death." My face had nothing to do with anything that aired right there. Like, so take it from my own
I will not allow nobody to throw any kind of negative what's name on Schiavone, okay? We will not allow this. Somebody
thought the shit on him in the crowd. They had a sign on him and said, "Fuck Tony Schiavone." We didn't say fuck Tony Schiavone. He said something about how he sucks. I couldn't read it fully raw to put it on there. Anyway, FTR comes out for a chat, says, "I don't understand why we're doing this and why we're playing this video and what it accomplishes." He said, "What we're doing is great things here in this company, but you're still looking for stuff from 8 months ago." He said, "Hardwood think the Bucks might be trying to find a reason to make an excuse for why they lost to them." He said, "But to be honest with you, without this company, we might be somewhere else still shaving our backs." If you remember that. Uzi hot and shit like that.
I'm glad that, yeah.
He said the Bucks used to be about AEW, but now they're about the letters, the EVPs. And he said, they said this company's been built in the back to everyone who helps to work and build this place. And they would keep going and build this place for the future of professional wrestlers. This place for people who go to work for one ticket and get lost in the drama and the action. But this isn't about All In because it's about Dynasty and proving who the best tag team really is. Now, after they show a video for Bryan Danielson, where Ospreay comes out for a chat, he comes out and said he wants to clear up some things and says, "So apparently there's a rumor out there that I don't like to grind out here." He said, "Well, if you notice, I've been going and grinding my whole life, jumping from Japan to my home country and now from my home country to the United States to come wrestle for this company and back and forth. While it seems like the only reason you got to your position is because you were grinding on the boss's daughter." Boom. That was his mic drop moment. Now, in all of this, I think Renee Paquette caught stray bullets because she was in that company and she's friends with Stephanie. So I'm pretty sure, as you can see by the look on her motherfucking face, they didn't prep her for this moment and she was probably not very comfortable with it after the fact. But as I stated before, Will Ospreay was punching up. Somebody talked shit on him.
Now,
he was responding. I don't have a problem with what he said.
My issue with what he said is this.
You could have used something that somebody else has already said. Everybody else says that.
I mean, not only that, but did he specifically say your name?
He was talking about him, bro. He was talking about him specifically because he said, Will Ospreay said, "I chose the schedule because it's better for me. It's a little lighter on me and my family right now." And he said, going to WWE, their schedule's a little more of a grinder. Then Triple H made his comments after that.
About the whole grinding?
Yes. It was directed at Will Ospreay, bro.
Okay.
It was directed at Ospreay. So Ospreay had the right to punch back, I feel like, in that one. So that's just how I feel.
Okay.
Basically, he just kept the same narrative they've been telling recently. He flashed back to why he's the best, and he's going to prove it on the 21st against Danielson. And Danielson feels the same way. There we go. Santana Promotion taking on Chris Jericho, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. Basically, this match came down to Jericho pulling bitch moves. Throughout the match, you know, we were talking about he wanted to be the quarterback, right? So at some point in time in the match, Hook could have made the tag to him. Instead, he makes the tag to Shibata during this match.
Oh.
And he makes Chris mad. There's a point in time where Shibata, I guess, is ready to make the tag. Chris just jumps off the apron like, fuck it. And then Hook jumps off the apron like, hey, man, what the fuck is your problem? Like, what's your deal? And they start arguing. Shibata gets rolled up. They can't get in there in time to make the save. They lose the triple threat match. 8 minutes, 16 seconds. Moriarty's Fang finishes off Shibata. Post-match, Hook helps Shibata out and tells Jericho to leave. So this is obviously leading somewhere for them, which we saw already. We already played this once in the shows. Time for the second round. Guess that squash. Kajusco Okada versus Cristiano Argentino. Go.
Who?
Exactly my point. Go.
I ain't gonna say it was longer than Chelsea Green versus Jay Cargill. I'm gonna go a minute. I'm gonna go a minute even.
Nope, minute 22.
Huh.
You were right though. It wasn't as long as the other one. It was shorter by about 10 seconds.
Green.
But I will say, this guy got in way more in his match than she did. He was getting Okada was letting this guy get shots off on purpose and just eating him strong style way and then destroying him. Hit the perfect drop kick into the Rainmaker for the finish. Post match, he said he accepts Pac's challenge. Pac comes out for the stare down. The Bucks jump him from behind.
Of course.
Then FTR comes out to make the save on them. Okada grabs a chair and clears their ass out too. So the bad guys stand tall. But the club go. Now this is the worst moment of the show. This is the worst moment of the show. But the club go. Wait, hold on. All right, my bad. Is it supposed to I was thinking of? No. Maybe this is on something. We'll get to it later. It might have been on last week's show I'm thinking of. Either way, Bullet Club Gold comes out. Talking about the match they had on Rampage. Said he want to do it again. Find him an opponent. Thunder Rosa's here with Tony Storm for the champagne toast. Everybody get the champagne glasses out. Even Renee got one. Tony Storm didn't even say fucking words. Instantly throws that shit right in Thunder Rosa's face. Knocks her down. Then takes out a rag. Starts scrubbing her face paint around off her face. Trying to scrub it off. That's basically what happens. Donna Purrazzo came out to make the save. Then Mariah May comes and takes her out. Then there's more tension between Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa, because Thunder Rosa couldn't see because her mask was rubbing to her face, all her face paint. She thought it was still Tony Storm, so she snatched away, not realizing it was Purrazzo. So Purrazzo storms off from there. So we got tensions building in the women's division like that. Next up, women's match was tied into the incident because Mariah May was up fighting next against Anna Jay. Match went 8 minutes and 32 seconds. Mariah May wins this one. Didn't even have to use her finisher either. Hits a sunset flip for the pin.
Damn,
gets the victory.
That's how bad you falling on the
Man, she was pissed off post match and she slapped on that Queen Slayer on her to show it. But then Mina Shirakawa came out. Who they were in the stable and starting together. Her and Mariah May. She comes out to make the save. And I guess Tony Storm also came out and interrupted. She came out to make the save and also toasted her with a champagne glass and a kiss. I don't understand the significance if there's something with them. Also, I guess somewhere in here they're kind of teasing maybe a match with Shirakawa and Tony Storm, maybe at Forbidden Door. So we'll see what happens. Monet is having a chat backstage. I forgot this cat's name. Not Alex Abrahantes, the other cat. The one he had to sing Okada Happy Birthday, and they tried to make him learn Japanese.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You remember what I talked about for a couple weeks ago when I said...
I don't know the guy you're talking about.
Okay, I don't
know his name.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But anyway, we'll give him his credit later on. Anyway, she was talking about her ankle injury, how she had a plan and a mission. All of a sudden, the lights went out. She gets attacked. The lights come back on. She's just on the floor holding her head. This is them. I don't think she's cleared to enter the ring yet. This is why she ain't had a match yet. Everybody's keep questioning this, and it's kind of quite obvious to me. Apparently, I'm going to be at her debut AEW match, which is supposed to be at Double or Nothing. So, we'll see where this goes.
She's still injured. Okay.
I don't think she's fully cleared.
Okay. Makes sense. She had a broken ankle.
Then people are like, why'd you make it a rush and big deal to sign her if she's not fully cleared? I mean, I'd like to be somebody else to the punch to sign Sasha Banks and not give other people more chance to push my thoughts and try to get her contracted to me out of the way to get themselves in that spot. So it is what it is. Your main event's up next. Dustin Rhodes taking on Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe did all the heel tactics he could to win here, especially with people wanting to have that feel-good feeling behind Dustin, considering Cody just finished the story. We know good and goddamn well Dustin was not winning this damn championship. Samoa Joe grabs the chain, loads up, swings. The ref takes it away. That was just good enough to get it distracted so he can smack him with the belt. You know he was busted open. He busts himself open in matches just as much as fucking Moxley does. It's true. Either way, he loses this one 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So there you go.
Damn, that was a short main event.
There's so much happening on the show. I told you it was a mid-ass show. Post-match, he grabbed the coquina clutch and won't let it go. Swerve Strickland comes in to knock Joe out. Swerve holds up the title belt to end the show, and that's the end of Dynamite.
That's crazy.
Let's do this. 9:46. We got 2 more shows to go.
Go to SmackDown. I want to do the one thing real quick. So, my impact moment of the week was fun. So I don't know. You think it was Jorianne Gray? She's doing a contract signing with Stephanie DeLander. Basically, she used to be like Percy Pirelli at NXT or something. She chick with the nose ring and the what's the name, blonde hair and everything.
Okay.
Matt Cardona is there. By the way, he had to get some pec surgery, so he will be out for a while. Sucks for him. So I guess they're talking about how like she talked about how like she said I beat you, and she like I beat you too. Like she talking about Matt Cardona because she beat him before the match. And then he keep talking about no, he keep talking about Forbes. He like, why don't you let her talk, bitch? Like, why don't you let her talk? He like, hold on. He like, you can't call her a bitch. She like, no, I'm talking to you, bitch. I'm like, oh. He like, he got all mad. They flipped the table over, and then he does some sucker shit. So they start brawling. He comes and hit her from behind, and then they basically put her through a table together. I'm like, bro, why you do that sucker ass shit, man? It was just funny though, cause he's like, no, I'm talking to you, bitch. I'm like, his face. He like, can she call me that? Like, like, no, yeah, she can, bro. That shit was fun, man. By the way, she has like no kind of her career. What's up? Impact Stars and their charisma value, bro. Like, oh my god, bro. Jesus, she has nothing either, really. I mean, you hear her talk, or it's like. Anyway, SmackDown. Let's start it off. It starts off with Cody Rhodes. Gets a "You deserve it" chant. Basically said, this is what I like. He basically said, The Rock interrupted me on Raw, and it made me think of somebody from Detroit that will say, who the hell told you it's open mic night, bitch? He's referencing his wife, Brandy, because she said that on Jade Cargill's. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So, Cody apologizes for swearing. And talks about how The Rock, I feel like my mic is not working. Talk about, you apologize for not swearing, and talk about The Rock handling something they couldn't see. Cody said he ain't gonna say what it is, but with that, The Rock off to Hollywood and he's in the rearview mirror. That means to get ready for Backlash in France, where he said he'll be facing 6 other wrestlers. And those people are Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens. They're told that they're sold out in Detroit and he's no longer the hunter, but rather the hunted. And to those 6 wrestlers, if you come at the king, you better not miss. He said, for those who don't understand him, he was undesirable, undeniable, and now undisputed. Check my mic. You think?
You go. You good?
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, fine. Okay. All right.
You're totally fine.
Okay. I don't know why I sound like.
You're loud and clear, brother.
All right. After that, the Bloodline finds Cody's dressing room. Basically, they took off Roman's name and Cody's name there now, so Cody got Roman's locker room now. KO sticks his head out. Solo said, we'll take care of this. Sheamus, they talking about Sheamus coming back. First match is triple threat. LA Knight, yeah. Versus Santos Escobar versus Bobby Lashley. Knight gets the BFT win on Escobar, so he is the first number one. He's in the number one contenders match for the winner to face Cody Rhodes. LWO don't believe that it was Legado del Fantasma that took out Dragon Lee. Mysterio said he's done a lot in years, but he thinks he has one more run as a champion. Then we get the Bloodline here. And Paul Heyman talks about how bad things went for him at Mania. He talks about how Seth Rollins was a big problem. Came in here and distracted Reigns, who gave into temptation. He was so focused on Seth. He was so focused on Rollins that Cody ended up with everything. And he said, like a phoenix from the ashes. He said, like a phoenix from the ashes, then Solo cuts him off. And Solo says, losing matters, so there's consequences, right? Heyman shakes his head. Solo said, well, consequences need change, right? Heyman like, yeah. But then he walks up to Jimmy. And he did something. When he walked up, he said, you my brother. I love you. And he just walks away. He just turns his back. Boom, he gets took out. Tama Tonga kept his name. That's one thing everybody said he is going to do. He said he's going to let people keep their names. Good. All right. Names. Julia's keeping her name too. Then they basically jump him, beat him down, and then Solo basically telling him like, "Come here." Then this the best part. He's like, "Call Roman Reigns." Solo knocks the phone out of his hand, stumps on it. They put the chair around Jimmy's neck. He says, "I love you" again. Then run a hip attack on the chair. Then we get Cameron Grimes versus Bobby Lashley. Third time in the show. Poor Cameron Grimes. Guess that squash. No, my fault versus Braun Breaker. My fault.
Get speared to the moon.
Guess how much? Oh, no, guess how much?
Oh, I didn't know we were playing squash
yeah,
match game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Minute 15.
He was off by 4 seconds.
Damn it again. I'm in 4 seconds all show.
119. 119.
4 under, now I'm 4 over.
Bailey is here for a chat. She said the fans seem to love her again. She talked about how feeling good to hear that. She said she had to beat one of the most talented women in the locker room. She said she offered giving somebody opportunity. Stratton comes out here and said why she wasn't available to WrestleMania. She said, "I'm not talking about you. I had Naomi in mind." And then she said Naomi, she couldn't win the title if it glowed in the dark. In the dark. Then Naomi said, "I already beat you though." And then she can't accept Bailey challenges yet because she said she need to beat Tiffany right there. So she basically saying, if I beat Tiffany, then I get your shot. There's lead to this match. Naomi gets the win after Tiffany misses the prettiest moonsault ever. And Naomi gets a roll up for the pin here. Next we get Logan Paul talk about being the legend and Randy Orton and the dunks and Kevin Owens. Chelsea Green and Piper Nevin versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. You ready for this one again? Guess that squash.
A minute 24.
Minute 22.
Now only 2 seconds off.
Next we get Rey Mysterio, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles wins this match with a style clash at 9 minutes and 14 seconds. This sets up him and LA Knight again with the winner to face Cody Rhodes at Backlash. And that was the end of SmackDown.
All right, let's get into Rampage so we can get out of here. All right, so Rampage was mid as fuck this week too. AEW's had a pretty mid week after Collision. You just said Collision sounded pretty mid, so I guess it was mid from us all week. Orange Cassidy versus Alex Reynolds. He defeats Alex Reynolds with an orange punch. After the match, he talks about Trent, and was about to, and he gets cut off by Trent coming down the ring. Before Trent could attack him, though, Chuck Taylor pops up and scares Beretta off. But then he doesn't side with anybody either, and he just walks off too. So
They say he was injured again.
I would hope not. He's been out for a grip, so let's see what happens from there. Anna Jay's backstage for an interview talking about how she wants AEW to be more serious around her. All of a sudden, she is a cutoff by Azumi, who says she doesn't think much of Tony Storm. I don't know how that had anything to do with what Anna Jay was talking about. A loose thread way to get to a match between those two. Damn. Whatever. TBS Championship match next. Julia Hart versus Layla Hirsch. Not squash.
Dang, I haven't seen Layla Hirsch in forever.
Blew her knee out. She just not coming back. She gets small package for the victory. 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Don Callis doesn't care if his family beats Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli tomorrow. Instead, he just wants Danielson hurt before he'll face Will Ospreay at Dynasty. Next up, finally, I really hope this ends this shit. Especially since something else I forgot to announce. Well, we'll announce it on Sunday's show because it happened this week, so we'll talk about it then. I really hope this ends.
If I know what you're
shit.
talking about, I'll probably spoil it now.
Go ahead and spoil it.
Is it the whole Ruby Soho thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's actually legit pregnant for real.
Is it Parker's?
Huh?
Are they for real together?
They're a couple in real life.
Yeah, it's good for them. Congratulations.
They're a couple in real life.
Angelo Parker.
And a lot of people backstage say like, no, she really is legit pregnant. That's why she ain't
been wrestling recently.
Yeah.
Angelo Parker versus Zach Knight is done. Thank you. I hope so. End this stupid shit, especially since Nazi's pregnant. Let them move on. Bygone. 7 minutes and 44 seconds. Running forearm finishes off Knight. That was a shitty anticlimactic ending to that too. Kyle Riley said he wants to face Rocky Romero. And then of course, Kyle! Roger Strong comes in and says,
Adam,
it'd be
boundaries.
Well, basically, because he said he wants to face Rocky Romero, who says they can do it if he wins The international title. Romero leaves. Roger Strong comes in, but he seems a little unhappy or around wanting the title and said, wouldn't it be really cool to be champ? He said, yeah, but Strong, she said, but if that happens, then Strong can't be the international champ. Next up, Jay White versus Matt Sydal. Match goes 11 minutes, 25 seconds. I just told you the participants, so you know who won this match.
Who are the participants again?
Jay White versus Matt Sydal.
Oh, God, yeah. They ain't Matt Sydal.
Stop setting him up with tin cans like a boxer on his way up to the top. We already know who Jay White is. He can face good competition. That's the end of Rampage. And that's also the end of our show for this week. But we will see you again on Sunday for another long-ass show, because wrestling seemingly never ends. I'm one half of your host. I'm Rob.
I'm playing.
And this has been Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. Mr. Ron Simmons, send us home.
Queen shit. Little chip shit. Noki with the ring.